Everybody, what's up? It's Adam Hunter, brand new MMA Roasted Podcast, brought to you by Speedweed. Get it delivered, especially during this pandemic. Get it delivered, okay? Do not leave your house. Don't go to the dispensary. Don't go to gatherings. Get it delivered. They'll deliver marijuana, CBD, edibles, sex lube, the whole thing. Now, go to speedweed.com or follow them at Speedweed. And thank you, Gino.
Well, let me ask you a question about our sponsor, Speedweed. Are these guys like, you know what I mean? Like handling the blunts or joints or whatever the hell are they handling it directly?
If anyone gets the coronavirus and Speedweed, it's not my fault. So I don't asterisk, okay?
I've had some deliveries. I've had some delivery people that just like literally drop the package and run away from the house. Like they don't even knock on the door and run away. I feel like that's the strategy.
You could like rob a bank with like a cough at this point. Like you can go in there with like a gun and people will be like, "Oh, I'm fine," and you cough and everyone will like get down for cover. That's how bad this is going.
Bonus points if you're Asian.
No. First of all, great podcast yesterday with Bisbing and Baroni. Although I gotta say, man, like Larry David, right, who I think is brilliant, one of the funniest people ever. But he was a terrible comic because according to him, he would make everyone laugh except for one person, and then he would focus on that one person, and then that would ruin his set. And that's how I feel a lot of times. Number one, on stage, it's always that, and then you'll find out the person didn't speak English. Like the whole time you were in your head, but also even like I understand you, Mayhem. I can't imagine the YouTube comments you got when you were going crazy, or when you were crazy, whatever, because in your crazy period. So, because like we get like hundreds of comments and the likes are insane, like 190 likes, 4 dislikes, which for YouTube is pretty good. But one person will say something and it'll fucking, first yesterday somebody says, "Hey, you live in LA, your dog's gonna get eaten by a mountain lion or a
coyote,
and it's gonna be your fault for being a bad pet owner." First of all, you know where I live in LA. There's no fucking mountain lions. I don't live in the mountains or in the hills. LA is a pretty big place. Okay, There's never been once, but that bothered me. Now I'm like, do I defend myself on my pet ownership? And then I'm just like, and then I was so annoyed that my wife went in the other room and was gonna like make a fake account and defend me. But then I'm like, but that was like whatever. Then the next one was like, "Hey Adam, maybe you could do some more research when you ask Bisbing questions. Those questions have been so played out, right?" Okay, first of all, all right, in my defense, I knew Bisbing was coming on an hour before the show. Like, the show starts at 12 o'clock, 11:30, half hour. He's like, "Hey, I'll come on the show today." Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm watching a baby, okay, because my wife is working. And we're in a pandemic. I can't leave. We can't leave the house. I don't have time to go through all Bisbing's fucking, catalog of interviews and find out what he has or what he hasn't been asked. Okay, and I'm not even a fucking journalist. I'm a comedian who likes his podcast. But
I know. Look, I got caught flat-footed too. Like I didn't know we were gonna have him on. I would have had like some better questions, some better anecdotes from the time that we did the TV show together. I would have been more prepared. Also, yeah. I really think we kind of blew it. But I mean, that's the pandemic. And also for you to blame the pandemic on your shitty journalism. I mean, come on, bro. You're not a journalist.
I'm not a journalist.
You to be. Well, we don't expect you to be, but I'm surprised you didn't ask him about, I don't know, like anal blasting, or I guess Ween wasn't on the show.
Yeah.
So, and then you had to be cool because your black friend was on the show. No, I don't know. I felt like there was a different vibe.
No, that's number one. Okay, it's a whole different vibe because I had to go learn Zoom Pro the night before I'm down.
Oh yeah, and by the way, thanks a lot, bro. I tried to download Zoom on my computer, and all I got was a bunch of malware. So now I'm gonna get like advertisement pop-ups for boner pills for the rest of my fucking life.
But the guy had some points. Yeah, okay, it could have been a better interview. Granted.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, and then someone's like, "No, you're playing with," and then I responded to this. First I go.
Why?
First I said, "Go get your own podcast with Mayhem and Bisbing and ask whatever you want." That was my first reaction. But then people were like, "This is not professional. I can't believe constructive criticism. What you can give it, you can't take it." I go, all right, this guy's got some points. These were some decent points. It wasn't the greatest interview of all time. But at the same, but on one hand, I am blaming the pandemic because I've lost fucking $13,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of fucking gigs. And my wife's working and I'm watching a baby. Like, I don't have time to fucking do the greatest interview on an hour fucking notice. And also, Mayhem, not to mention, it was the first time that you saw Bizbing. You've had a rough go. Bizbing's done pretty well. I'm protective of you. I don't want to make it seem like you were not, like, I don't want to make you feel bad. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were a lot of things in my head of like, in case shit went,
Bro,
I don't know.
At the top of the show, I told a story in which I almost got murdered and saved my own life using martial arts that I learned from the 1980s classic Under Siege.
No, I get
so
that.
I don't think that anything that you say to me, on a freaking podcast can hurt my feelings. So I appreciate you looking out for me, but man, you are so Greenberg right now.
No, but as your friend, I also wanted to, like, I don't know. I'm also proud of you, where you've come, this and that. But I know for myself, like, right now, me and Eliza Schlesinger were on Last Comic Standing together, right? Eliza's in a movie with Mark Wahlberg, okay? I'm looking for likes on YouTube right now. So fucking like,
and not just looking for likes, you're arguing with dislikes. Bro.
Okay, fine.
You're
right.
really missing the boat, bro. Bro, there's a whole forest out there, and you're over here chopping down the cherry tree.
I started answering every. You know what? It was cathartic, but it also made me realize that as a comic, right? Stand-up comedy is my therapy, right? I get on stage and I talk to the crowd. Whether it's because I'm having a bad day, I make it funny, people laugh, I get instant validation. Right now, that's being taken away from me.
That's true.
So I'm also, and I haven't left the house in a fucking week, and so I'm a lot quicker on a fucking trigger, to fucking respond to people. Whereas normally, somebody says something, I do a comedy show, 200 people laugh, I feel like I don't have to fucking respond to this shit. I like know what I'm capable of. Not that I'm know it, but and now that's gone. My therapy's gone in a lot of ways. My outlet is gone, and it was just that kind of annoyed me. But
well, let me tell you a little story to cheer you up. All right. You know how I went away for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Got busted, right? And the charge that time was vandalism, right? Basically, it broke down. I had a party at my house, and I just tore my fucking house apart. Like, not just a little bit, like pieces of it flying everywhere, okay? Before the cops showed up, I had a couple of little dogs. They had snuck out through a hole in the fence, all right? I was looking for them. My pit bull, I had a pit bull, who showed back up to the house with like a big scratch on his face. And I was like, what the hell? I thought he had like got the scratch from, escaping the fence. Well, I hear the dogs barking, the little dogs barking, called Pomeranian. Okay. I hear one of them, my little black one, yap, yap, yapping. It's like 6 a.m. So I look over the fence and see 3 coyotes surrounding
this
little
outside right now. That's what I'm thinking. Is this the story you want to tell me?
Yeah. As I look over the fence, it was like, get back in here. Get back in here. Another coyote, a 4th one, jumps out of the shadows, snatches her, and runs up the hill. Cops show up. I get busted, and I have to sit there for a year thinking about that image in my face. So, boo-hoo, your YouTube comment.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying boo-hoo. I'm just venting, dude. I'm just like, am I not allowed to?
You know what? You're right. Since you don't get to go on stage, I guess this is now you get a bitch at us about everything that's going wrong with your idyllic life.
Well, it's just like fucking pinned, right? Like I go out, I write a movie, I try to GoFundMe, I beg, fucking ask everyone to do it, to give me money, go on 9,000 podcasts, write this, don't raise enough money, buy clothes, rewrite it, shoot it, cast it, fucking almost get divorced in the whole process, sneak into the school, all like this 5,000 things I do. pinned, right? I put it on like YouTube. Somebody fucking hits me up. This comic hits me up and says, hey man, I watched your thing. Get it to Joe Rogan. He'll produce it. Like, all right. So now I'm like, okay, that's sure. Why not, right? And then the other guy, he goes, hey, why don't you have Theo Von play the lead? So that like right away, I'm just like, and then he goes,
perfect.
Then he goes, I'll be the AD. That's what the guy says to me. I'll be the AD. So I'm like, cool. Yep. Right. That's all I said, right? Then he fucking sends me his movie. So then I write back to him, hey, get it to Joe Rogan, have Theo Von. I didn't even see the fucking movie. Like, I'm not.
And no, you didn't watch this dude's movie?
No. That was Parasite.
What a dick, bro. Listen, you know what? Send me his movie. I'll do a pilot with this guy.
Okay.
And, I'll blast off into Hollywood success. I'll call up Joe Rogan this weekend.
All right. But like, I wouldn't have done that if I was on stage. Like, little things like that are like, I'm like becoming petty. This is like petty.
Becoming, huh?
Fuck off, dude.
All right. I'm just saying, bro, I've known you for a good long time. And like, you try to play Mr. Cool Guy, but
I don't
come on, bud. You can't help it. The way your mind works is you become hyper-focused on one detail, just like the Larry David thing where one person ain't laughing and that's all you can see. And I get it. It's actually one of your redeeming qualities, one of your positive things that it's like I don't know, it's like obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm not trying to diagnose you. Oh, well, then I diagnosed you correctly.
I've been diagnosed with that. Like,
oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying.
It used to be really bad. I used to drive my car and think I hit somebody, knowing I didn't hit someone, circle the block for hours looking for an imaginary person. I knew it.
To run them over again. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and half the time there was nobody underneath the car. No, but yeah. But anyway, so that was like. But anyway, after answering everyone's YouTube today, I'm like, all right, I either gotta like have fun with it and let it all bounce off, or don't look at it at all, because you can't do it both. You can't.
Are you enlisting me and my monkey army to like
combat? The army is like hilarious, but they're like everything I put on YouTube that has nothing to do with you. Everyone goes, "Where's Mayhem?"
Yeah,
like, I'll put like, hey, this is my bar mitzvah. Where was Mayhem? Like, I mean, it has just nothing to do with fucking where's Mayhem. Like, I've never seen a more committed army. Like, and this is the army after you've been slaughtered and lost and like went to jail, and there's still.
Oh, what do you mean, bro? Listen. I know you wouldn't understand this, but maybe ask your wife. I died. 3 days later, I came back.
Right,
it's casual. That's the Christian way, bro.
Fan base. And you know what? They happen to be really cool and really nice. And
they're awesome. Like, I feel bad that I don't communicate with more of them because they're so committed and so like positive towards each other. And that's what I kind of instilled at the beginning of all this. I was like, all right, each monkey builds the other monkey. We're all gonna push each other up. And a lot of them have stuck to that to this very day.
I know.
I'm so blessed.
And there's a pandemic. People are dying on the fucking streets right now. These are not real problems, and I know that. Okay, I know that. I'm just telling you, like, what goes through my head, and I'm working to be a better person.
Well, look at it this way, Adam. There's no referee to stop the fight, so you got as many rounds as you want, bud.
I know. I don't want these rounds. I only have so much time in my life. I got to focus on this.
I know.
I woke up this morning. I made breakfast for the first time in my life for my wife and kid. Eggs.
Wow.
I had to Google how to make scrambled eggs. I've never made them in my entire life. Yes. But my wife says this, she's happier than she's ever been in this marriage. By me being home. I'm never home. And she's like, this is the marriage I've always wanted. All it took
oh, no, that's hilarious.
She's like, all it took was a pandemic. She's like, I love this. I'm like, you're probably the person that sent the bat to China. That fucking, she probably started these anyway. So anyway, that's that. I got it off my chest. But anyway, people who are commenting, who are about to thank you for this. And listen, I know we need more. So people always tell me, I can't believe this doesn't have 100,000 downloads. Okay, listen, on that, okay? We just started with YouTube. Before Mayhem came on the show, there was no YouTube channel. I had like random comedy shows from like heckler videos, okay? So I know it's number 500 podcast, but it's number 7 YouTube show. Okay. So for like 7 YouTube shows, some of us get 80, 90,000, 100,000 views. Okay. We're doing okay. Okay. But it's not like The Fighter and the Kid that this is their 500th YouTube show. Okay. This is really only our 7th YouTube show. There was no MMA Roasted on YouTube before. But I appreciate the kind efforts, but stop telling me to go on JRE. Okay.
Let's just argue with everybody. Let's just, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get on the comments too, even though I don't even do that.
No, I don't want
on the comments.
The last time on the comments, you ended up as Lucky Patrick. Okay. I honestly, I don't want you near the comments. Okay. Your life is so.
No, I got it, bro. I got it.
I'm getting off the comments too. I am no longer looking at the comments. I'm off.
Really?
Yes.
I don't believe you. I say you make it 1 week.
It's not me.
And on top of that, the comments on this one is going to be fucking ridiculous.
Because
first of all, you're holding a baby, whining about like white people problems. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
Meanwhile, there's literally millions of people wiping their ass with their left hand.
I just said that. You're just fucking repeating me, you asshole. Okay.
What?
I just said that. These aren't real fucking problems. I know there's.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I said it. I said it a little more funny than you.
No, you did. No, you did not. Okay. First, it's another thing. Everyone's like, leave the jokes to Mayhem. Like, what?
Listen, but you know what? They bring a valid point because without the audience feedback, I don't think you even know if you are being funny. Like you're always like. I
don't want feedback. Okay. And by the way, people telling us, look, we're right now. This podcast is that indie band and that indie rap group and that indie fucking that was cool before they became famous. I guarantee you, once we get big, we can't talk about anal blasting with fucking Ween Dog or.
Yeah, we will.
I'm gonna get the boot.
Okay. All right. Once there's money involved, the people involved, this is going to be different. So enjoy it now, fuckers. Okay, because we are the indie band.
We can't wait to sell out. Wait to sell out. Sign on to fucking Joe Rogan Podcast Unit.com and have Bert Kreischer come in with his tits out every day.
He mentioned me last night. He mentioned me on JRE. He actually talked about
I don't care.
He said something about last comment, me fighting with this girl. The story isn't really true, but what he said was this girl cursed me out on Last Comic Standing. What had happened was that she called me a cunt. Number one, she never called me a cunt. Okay. Number two, I kept getting on Last Comic Standing and getting through every round, and then before it would air, they would call me up and be like, "You're off the show." I go, but they told me I was on the show. I cried on TV thanking my family. They're like, well, we picked 50 guys and we can only keep 30. I go, well, what about the judges who voted me in and everyone? Sorry, try out next year. So that happens like 2 years in a row. That's how reality TV works. So they just take you off. They're not even going through a round. They just call you up. So I got back on the show and I'm like, I got to be the villain to get through these rounds because I'm being myself and they're not buying, they don't care. Maybe I'm not fitting their demographic. I don't have the right management, the right people behind me. No one's pulling for me. It was just me. So I was like, all right, I'll be the loud, obnoxious guy to get into the house. And when I'm in the house, I'll flip the switch. That's what I did. I got it. I was on thing going, I'm the greatest comic here. I don't know. Everyone else can go home. I was just saying dumb shit. Like, and then when I got in the house, they were like, do you want to win? I'm like, yeah, but I work with kids who have cancer. And I just kept like bringing up the fact that I worked with kids who had, so that way they couldn't edit anything bad about me. And then eventually they stopped interviewing me, stopped feeding me. That's another podcast, right? So anyway, this girl.
No, I feel like this podcast now. This is a really interesting story, bro.
So this girl, Andy Smith, who's a funny comic, saw me in the room when I was like, yeah, I'm the greatest comic here. But I was only doing it to get on the fucking house, So after I got through the round and she didn't, that night at a bar, I was like celebrating. I was like super happy. I got through I was going to live in the house, and she looked at me. She's like, hey, you're a hack. Like, go fuck you or something. Like it was just like that. And I looked at her like, huh? Like, wow, that was mean. And she walked away. That was it. But it was annoying to me. I was like, what a fucking asshole. Like, fuck you. And I'm a hack. Like, it's supposed to be like the happiest night of my life. And you're just trying to ruin it. That was it. Bert went on Rogan and was like, yeah, Adam and Andy Smith, they started going at it on television and all this. no, she never even got on the television aspect. That never happened. But anyways, if anybody wants to clear that, that's what happened yesterday. So there was a similar thing. But Rogan and Bert said I'm a nice guy, which is nice. They're like, oh yeah,
nah, you fucking nice guy.
Is that even a compliment anymore? I feel like the nice.
Being a nice guy is like a nice way to say that guy's a fucking hack.
No, fuck you. Okay,
oh no.
Hey man, I just realized like hack is like the N-word for comics because every time I say it, bro, you want to fight. It's hilarious. So I mean, I'm trying to use it sparingly, kind of like my grandpa did.
Anyway, I don't even know what that even means. Let's talk about. Okay, so before we get to Jessica I. Travis Brown tweeted out, hey, I'm cooking food for Ronda Rousey because of the quarantine. I guess I'm going to get anal sex tonight. Right. And then Ronda wrote, not with the food you cook. And then whatever. So
this sounds like the text from last fight. It doesn't even sound real.
So I wrote a joke of like, yeah, they got anal sex. Last time he couldn't sit for 2 weeks. Both of them blocked me at this point anyway. Yeah, they don't like
Wait,
me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you're like the MMA comic. Like, why the fuck is everybody getting butthurt, literally, that you're making jokes? Like, that's your whole.
Like, it goes way back with Rhonda. I was always nice to Rhonda and super nice, and she never did I was her roommate / best friend, Marino. We were like friends, like pretty good friends, and she was on the podcast. She was my co-host. I gave her a job, and like. Well, she got herself a job, but I was the one, so, and then all of a sudden, like they started dating Travis, and I was like, Rhonda, keep your head up or something about after she lost. And she's like, fuck you made fun of my man and talk shit about my friend and this and that. And I was just like, dude, Rhonda's mom, like, is like, we were friends. Like she called me up 2 weeks ago for advice for something. Like I helped her start a podcast and like, I got her cousin tickets to fights, like to her fights. Like there was no need for any of this, but she just kind of I was like, all right. And the funny part is that I didn't make jokes about Ronda Rousey and Travis Brown. And there was a lot of like weird shit going on at that time about Travis was like married when he was dating her. And then his ex-wife was accusing him of some shit. And it was like, there's a lot of stuff that like, if I wanted to be a dick and make jokes about or whatever, I could, but I was like, I'm going to stay away from this. And it's funny when you stay away from something, people that's when people get mad. But it was whatever, Like I said, someone's like, you got to go with people who like you. You can't go with people who don't. And I mean,
it's weird because like me and Wiener here, and
you don't like
you.
Thank you. But there are a lot of comedy clubs out there that people are like, why do you play that club? Because they show me love. I'm not one of these guys that like. And that's another thing that annoys me is that people confuse popularity with quality. And it's not necessarily the thing. I mean, some of my favorite comics out there, people probably haven't heard of. Like Godfrey is a beast. You know Godfrey, I know Godfrey, but Godfrey's not more popular than Chris D'Elia. And to me, Godfrey is like 10 times the comic of Chris D'Elia. I mean.
Yeah, you know what, but that comes, like, it's weird that we're having all this conversation about entertainment right now because it's like, especially where we are right now with this whole Netflix generation and cord cutting, and there's like 60 streaming services where they just basically reinvented cable. Yeah. It's a weird time where lightning will strike some which away. And it goes back to when you were on Last Comic Standing. Why, if you can look at things objectively, why do you think they kept editing you out? Like, what were you dicks to like the staff, or were you just?
The show had fucked me over like 3 times, and I was calling them on their bullshit. Like they were editing sets. They were editing our like basically like we do these challenges, but they wouldn't play the whole challenge. And I'd be like, well, it doesn't matter if I won or lost. You're gonna make it seem like I lost anyway, because with your editing, I was just saying things like that. And that rubbed them way the wrong way. But also, they had an agenda. I think that Eliza had got really good ratings at that time, and they had never had a girl win. And everyone kept picking Eliza because they thought she was the weakest comic. She'd been comedy 2 years at that point and probably was one of the weakest comics. And it was just and I wasn't playing the heel anymore. I'd only played the heel to get into the house. And once I got in, I'm like, I don't want to be the number one hated guy on television. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm not going to give them anything, but they still tried to use it. Like, for example, one time they were like, you guys are all performing tomorrow. And I hadn't performed in a month. And I was like, fuck yeah, hell yeah. Like, yes. They're like, why do you want to perform? I'm like, well, because I thought this was a comedy show. I wanted to be on Last Comic Standing, and I hadn't done comedy in a month. Like they had us do things like props with Carrot Top and Home Depot, or read Playmates in the Playboy channel, read them bedtime stories. I'm like, what does this have to do with stand-up comedy? So when they said you're doing comedy, I'm like, yes. Cut to, I'm watching the show, and they're like, you all have to do comedy tomorrow. And then they took another shot of me like this, like, and then they cut to Jeff Dye going, man, Adam looked really scared. You could tell he didn't want to. I go, that was the opposite. It wasn't even like they took a.
Yeah. I mean, look, you got to understand. Okay. Because I worked in reality television myself a little bit. And the problem is that they have a lot of time to fill, and they have to have like these different concentric storylines going.
Of course, I get it.
And if they have a shit ton of footage, because I've been I've been on both sides of that thing where, like, Bully Beatdown, we can edit it so I'm even funnier than I am, And then on the flip side of that too was, maybe you don't know that I won an Emmy, but it was for like that time I did the damn interview with Gumbel Bryant.
Does that really count as winning an Emmy?
Yeah. Definitely, because what I was doing and what I was doing was lashing out at the entire sport of MMA for leaving me with a broken leg and going, go fuck yourself, Mayhem. I was lashing out against them instead, and I just did a comedy show. I just did everything that he asked. I fucking said a smart ass remark, and I just was, I was performing. But they edited it to look like I was like this nefarious, and hey, lesson learned. That's the way life goes.
No,
and those the people behind the camera have all the damn power. So it's like you gotta dance this line of being Mr. Nice Guy with those producers.
But what I'm trying to say is popularity doesn't equals like for example,
quality.
And just because someone. Look, of course, if Joe Rogan was like, hey, come on my podcast tomorrow, I'd be there tomorrow, right? But he has to ask me to be on the podcast. I'm not just going to be like, I'm not going to fly a plane into Joe Rogan's house and be like, I'm on the podcast. But also, just because you're not on Joe Rogan's podcast doesn't mean you're not like a hilarious comic. I think that people assume there's just a weird thing right now. Like,
it's called the algorithm, bro. It's the algorithm, right? No matter what I look at, because of my choices on YouTube, right? No matter what I look at, eventually I get directed to Joe Rogan. Or I get directed to, if I watch political shit, I get directed to John Oliver.
But I'm saying, but it's a bigger than that. I'm trying to say is like, I got an email a kid I went to high school with. And, he was like, hey man, I really think it's great. First he said, have you made a living doing comedy? Have you gotten any funnier? So I was like, first of all, fuck off. Like I haven't talked to you in 20 years. This is what you fucking come at me with. And second of all, then he goes, yeah, man, I really think it's cool that you make a living, even though you're not a star. And I was like, it made me think a lot. First of all, what's a star? Okay. And also what's success? I mean, if you look at if you make a living doing what you love, you're successful. If you have friends and family that you love, that love you back, you're successful. I mean, I'm sure you could probably vouch for, you were one of the biggest stars across the board, but I don't know if you were necessarily happy.
But being happy and being successful are not like being financially successful and being happy. There's like a Venn diagram where they cross over. You can be financially successful, but not successful in other areas of your life. I was always thinking that the only way to be happy is to be financially successful, and that really caused me to swing back the other way, because I was like, this is fucking stupid. I did all this for no reason, and had this crazy epiphany that really upended my whole entire worldview. and that's how it is. And you're in the middle of it right now, bud. You're in the middle of this weird, development that I really like to see.
This is everything. Like this is.
I know you got the baby, so it's like you're really developing.
I'm not putting the pressure of like, because you see people whose sole happiness is on their kids, and then they put all their pressure on their kids, and then their kids are going to be fucking assholes, and they feel like failures. So it's like you have to like, for example, like today, I tried to read her an Elmo book, right? And she's like, no, I'm not reading the book. And she's no. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to read it myself. So I read it myself. And then she came over, sat down, and we read the book together. Like,
so what? Did you just give her Ambien after that or what?
I know, she's knocked out right now.
Like, to me, the best parent I've seen coaching wrestling was a kid named Robbie. Father was a black belt. And he came and just watched me for 3 weeks. Didn't say a word. I had no idea he was a black belt. And finally, I was like, hey, man, what do you do? He's like, hey, man, you're a good coach. You know what you're doing, which was nice. Nice to hear, because when I found out he was a black belt, that really meant a lot, But his kid quit the team. Kid lost a match, quit the team. And he was helping out as a coach. And he kept coming back to practice, the father. And I was like, well, where's Robbie? And he goes, I don't know. I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, listen, I can't tell him that you can't stop showing up because you lose. So he's like, I'm here. And the kid came back. And that was like, to me, the best fucking parenting advice ever was like, that guy showed by example. He kept going to practice. The father did, unpaid coach. We weren't paying this guy, but he kept showing up to help. And the kid eventually came back, and that taught me a lot as a parent. I mean, even you, when you were in jail and, which I know I brought it up again, fuck off. All right. You're thinking about coaching wrestling. You a lot of things you could be thinking about when you're in jail, but you're like, hey, I want to come out here and coach wrestling. And I was like,
yeah. Well, look, man, the combat sports are like a strange thing where it's a passion play. You've been doing it for years where you can't help it. It's either you love it or you don't love it. And if you love it, you want to help as much as you can with your family unit, and family extends beyond, genetic lines. It's like who's in your tribe, Is Jessica on?
Jessica,
yeah, hi.
She's in my tribe.
Figured it out. I was like, why is there no Jessica face? But I figured it out.
So we got full Jessica. Have you met Jessica before?
Yeah. Jessica, flip it sideways so we can see your pretty face a little better. And is that a bathrobe you're wearing?
Yeah.
Bless your heart. She's doing quarantine correctly.
It's
like it reminds me of the Midwest and like being cold because it's like one of the big fuzzy ones.
Is that Masvidal's back robe?
No, that's mine. Come on now.
Okay.
Come on, that's mine.
Have you guys ever met before, by the way, in person?
I don't think so.
Twitter only.
So,
I'm a big fan of you on Twitter. It's like ridiculous to see you on there, always giving your opinion. I really appreciate that.
I like go through stages because sometimes like I don't give a fuck goes like high, and then sometimes like I'll just disappear from Twitter and I'll be gone for a couple of days. But it's definitely my most the way I rant the most.
Easy to do.
So Jessica, we became friends because she came on the podcast Mayhem, and she was living in Cleveland at the time, and I was always a fan. She was cool fighter. I didn't really know that much about her. At the time, if you thought I was bad before with these questions, imagine I was single and asking these questions, right? So I was like, Jessica, like, do you have a boyfriend? What's going on? And she says, no man from Cleveland's going to say they hit this, right? I was like, oh, so are you single? She's like, damn right. I go, and horny? She didn't hear me, but she said, right? So then I
love how you tell the story. I mean, it's like 7 years ago now, so I guess it's changed.
So I put
something along those lines.
She gets it already. The Adam Butcher.
Yeah, so he makes this crazy headline. I'm just getting into the UFC, right? Like, I'm just getting my name out there, and like instantly, like I'm trying to be like, all right, I'm the tough chick. I want guys to respect me. Like, I'm not just a pretty girl. And then Adam goes out and puts the articles of me being single and horny as like the headline. You know what I mean? So like instantly everything in my life goes from like tough chick, the evil eye to like, oh, let's just follow her because she's hot, and she probably, needs some D.
Well, let me ask you about that. What, like, okay, being a dude fighter, it's pretty simple. You go be the tough guy. You know what I mean? You talk a bunch of smack. But like women have this like other direction that they have to think about. And how much do you think about kind of the sexuality and like the, you got to kind of be a hot chick. In addition to you got to be a model sort of.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it's starting to change because, the one thing they don't like for women and I think sometimes like people might feel like I'm like, I might even be sexist towards women when I say things like this, but like they don't want to see us being disrespectful, being mouthy, cussing, screaming at the other person, like trying to fight them. They just don't respect us. The MMA world, the men that follow, look how they turned on Ronda when Ronda started showing some of that fire side and like then had to go against tougher fighters or women that were better. Like, I feel like the mass MMA fan wants a tough, pretty chick that knows her place. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's how you get the support. And that's something.
So wait, when you say they, you mean like the fan base?
The base MMA fan. I feel like the base MMA fan and what women's MMA needs.
Why do you say that? Wait, you say if you pop off and start like being like, say if you do some Conor McGregor shit and like throw a trolley at a bus, you think that would negatively affect?
Yes,
that would
100%.
negatively affect?
100%. 100%. Nobody wants a crazy chick. Nobody, like, women are held to such different standards. Guys are kind of allowed to get away with certain things, and I just feel that that's one of them. If I went through a dolly through a bus, like, I'd have to go to counseling. Like, there would be, all of these things around me, and nobody wants that. They don't want their daughters to be like that. They don't want their wives to be that way, and society doesn't support that. I feel like we're going through a change, and maybe that's just me. But
you're not the kind of girl that would throw a dolly through a truck anyway, though. That's not you. You don't seem the kind of person.
Not in front of cameras, I wouldn't.
No, yeah, this is. I feel like you're bringing up a valid point. Yeah, that it is kind of sexist.
Can I tell the one?
It is, but it's not even. It shouldn't even be considered sexist. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Men want to support down chicks that are tough, get the job done, and represent their sport well. Don't intermingle themselves with bullshit. That's what they like about it. And I feel like that's kind of what I represent. And that, I mean, maybe it's because I was raised by a man. No, I was raised by my dad.
Well, you don't think it would help if you like slap the girl at the weigh-in? Like,
I've done that. I pushed Betchko hair once, and they always didn't let me fight the next day. So I was like, all right, not doing that again.
Wait. You say that again? You pushed somebody in what?
Betchko hair. We were fighting in Cleveland, my longtime hometown. She like got in my face, and I kind of reacted like she put her hand in my face like that, and I reacted, and I just put my hands out, and I pushed her back. They almost didn't let me fight the next day. Bernie Profato, the commissioner who, I fought in front for many, many years and, obviously never pushed anybody before in my life on camera over something like that, then they were instantly like, oh, yeah, we don't even know if we should let her compete tomorrow.
Yes, can I tell the shower story? But I won't name names.
Huh?
Can I tell the shower story but not name any names or no?
What shower story?
Tell it, bro. That means tell it for sure.
So old. Adam, we need new stories.
I know, but that's a good story though. But nobody knows that story.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a down ass chick. Like, I'll confront the girl in the bathroom where there's not cameras, and I'll address things.
Okay. I'll tell them. I got a better story than that. So there was she was dating a guy who had a side chick, but they were not official. I think they were, but like Jessica thought that was her boyfriend. So the girl's a fighter. She goes to the fighter.
No, we broke up. I did the whole break up with him. You can't do anything else. If you do anything else, that's cheating. But that's kind of how it went. So
but you can't break up with someone and then tell them not to.
I know. I can't do that now. I didn't. This is like 6 years ago, Adam. This isn't new.
But no one knows. So she shows up to the gym in like a whole different state, like flies across the country.
California from
Cleveland. Goes in the shower. Well, the girl's taking a shower, and fucking pushes the girl and tries to.
No, stop. That's not.
Listen, let her tell it then. Let her tell it. 'Cause this is getting like some kind of like softcore porn that Adam makes up in his head. Of course.
No, so we were in the bathroom. I was changing, and she made a comment about us being cool. It like saying to me like, well, we were changing like after I'd been around her for a little bit, and she had not pulled me aside until we were obviously in there. She said, "Are we cool?" And I was like, "No, we're not cool." And that's where it proceeded. And then someone else walked in, and I'm bigger than the girl, and obviously like I got a real good Bart, so my attitude and everything just basically perceived like this girl's gonna kill her. So it just like
Now, was she naked?
Huh?
Was she topless or naked?
You know what the weird thing is like we weren't like topless, but like you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you talking to me right now while we're getting changed? Like, let me get dressed. Let me have some respect for me, because why should I be yelling at you without a shirt on? So yeah, I mean that to me, you know, like a man's wildest dream is like, let me put my bra on first.
I don't get it. Why are you so mad that you guys were Eskimo sisters?
It's not even that we were Eskimo. I could care less about that. It was the timing of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, like, I could care less. And obviously,
did she had her ample bosom out and was asking you if you guys were cool? Is that what was going on?
No, I think she had already gotten changed, and like I wasn't making eye contact for a reason,
so
because I was envisioning slapping her.
Okay, so you weren't topless. You had your shirt on. No. Okay, so now, Jess, here's why I'm a little concerned about you, because I love you. You're one of my favorite people. But okay, so 6 years ago when we met, you were like, "All right, no man's gonna get me. This is my vagina is priceless. Like I am you. I don't want to go on date, no Tinder, whatever." A month ago, you tweet out, "Hey, Masvidal, come over here and take that robe off." Okay,
so hold on. Let me explain why I even did that. Like, God, I'm a marketing genius. Like, I got so many followers from just that alone. But did you not see Darren Till posted about the ring girls and put the eggplant emoji that same night?
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Why didn't you use the peach emoji? You know, we really appreciate it.
I didn't think about that until now. So that was good. You know, I didn't. But I was also doing a UFC. There's like this new show coming out where like they come to your house and they film you watching the fights. They like give you alcohol, food, and you sit there with your friends, and like they video you while you watch the fights.
Right.
So like it's totally publicity. You know what I mean?
So I mean, wait. It's publicity.
I mean, yeah, he's cute. I've known Masvidal back from Strikeforce days when he fought, like, and I knew him back then. Like, I don't know him, but like, it was totally just like a spoof. And women, and you know how many women at the UFC, like headquarters, stopped me and were like, "I'm proud of you for I'm proud of you for that." Like, like I wasn't disrespectful. It was funny. Women don't know how to just like have fun in that way. And the public, I love guys instantly think I'm thirsty. I was on Brendan Schwab's podcast. All these people for being like, "Just guys thirsty." Like, come on. Like, I'm not thirsty.
I thought I realized what it was as soon as I saw it, because I follow you on Twitter and I know that your "I don't give a fuck" meter goes off the chain sometimes.
What if he would have came out with the robe? What if he would have said,
"Hey"?
What if all of a sudden you like ding?
But he wouldn't have. Like, why do I even like when you know the answer and when you already know things? Why would I even sit there? And I wouldn't have done it had I known what the consequences.
But you're a beautiful woman.
I know.
So
have you ever seen his girlfriend? Like, she's so much more of a woman than me in that way. Like, she's voluptuous. Like, I'm like an athletic kid.
Was she ranked number
like
2?
Pretty eyes.
Was she ranked 1 in the world? Was she on the?
No, I mean,
was
no.
She on the cover of Cosmo?
She probably didn't get knocked out cold on live TV either.
Oh, stop.
Hey, that's the business, babe. Don't you even worry about that.
You were on the cover of Cosmo. All right. She was on the cover.
I wasn't quite the cover, but I was there. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it was good though, dude. My like views on my page went from like normally like 10,000 to 100,000+ of like people on my page. I was like, interesting. This is what our world's turned to. I just have
How many dick pics and like proposals did you get from
my stuff is private. So unless I go into like my one part of my page, like nobody can message me. I have to like follow you back or.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Duly noted. Hey, so wait, no, you know, it brings up an interesting thing, the sexuality type aspect. Would you like ever be opposed to like doing that only people, what is it called? Fans?
Only fans?
Yeah,
Fans
there you
only?
go. Is that something that you'd like, be open to? Because I feel like that's a bizarre thing that's happening now.
Yeah, I'm on Cameo, which which is kind of like that. And I see like there's Cameo, Talkie, and then that OnlyFans. And OnlyFans, like I have friends that are in the adult film industry.
Right.
And I do actually. He's a very good friend, I think, of many of ours. He's a photographer that's been in the business, Mike Madronas, known as Lazy. So
he's a porn star now?
No, that's a big difference. I didn't say that. God, I hate you.
She said a big difference.
Yes. But anyways, wait a minute. What was it? No, I wouldn't do anything that would compromise me in that way. Like, I'll listen to people. I'm friends with people. If it was a platform that I know would reflect on me positively, and that wouldn't make me feel bad about I was like doing something to like reflect negatively, I guess I would do it. But I don't know much about it. I know it's a porn thing, I guess. Or
so Mayhem, I'll give you a little background on this beautiful, awesome woman that I want my daughter right here, by the way, to one day be like. So she was a great athlete, huge track star in high school, one of the best. And her parents got divorced. Her father got custody. So I don't know what her mom was doing, because if dad gets custody, that's rough. My dad got custody. My mom was, so her and her dad are on the side of the road fixing a car. They get hit by a Mack truck. And she goes to the hospital for 4 months. Like, broke her back. Like, both of them out. Like, fucking thing. She comes back and taking jiu-jitsu and becomes a world champion. Like, how cool.
That is pretty damn inspiring. I gotta say that. Yeah. Oh, wait, when did that happen? When you were like 18?
Last week.
So I was 16 years old. It was 2003, so 17 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see where you come. Well, now where do you train now? Like, that's the question.
So a year ago I left my longtime team. It's actually like it's been a month since my year anniversary, but I was in Cleveland. From Ohio. I'd been there my whole, life. I trained with Stipe Miocic from day one. Me and him, like, he came from one side of Ohio, came into another, and we found ourselves at Strong Style Martial Arts and Fitness Center. And that was where Dan Bobich, I don't know, like how much some people's fight.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
I know
you
would know, but the listeners, how far they go back. But Dan the Bull Bobich, fought Butterbean, a couple other people in the UFC. So in Ohio, they were doing, the shoot fighting stuff and a lot of like the Krav Maga style fighting that was actually in there. So I trained and lived there for 13 years, and then most recently moved to Las Vegas, where I train at the UFC PI. And I work with Eric Nixick and Gray Maynard over at Extreme Couture.
Now, how's that going? Because first of all, I heard Vegas, it's almost impossible to have a boyfriend. They're all male strippers over there.
So yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, there's a lot of good looking people here.
Wait, we want to hear that whole other story.
Well,
this
no,
MMA
I've actually gotten
this ain't Brian Gumball.
Stories. It's just, it's weird. It's such a fast city here. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many people and there's so many men and women. It's just like,
wait. So how many male strippers have you taken down, and how many female strippers have you taken down?
I swear to God on my life. Like, listen, I live with my younger brother and my jiu-jitsu coach, which are two guys. So you know what I mean?
So
like,
you just
if I'm gonna bring home
time.
some guy, or if I'm not gonna come home, like, I have to have a really good story, because there's not many people out here. Like, me disappearing and not coming home for the night is like, where the fuck were you? There's not many places you can be. So yeah, so I haven't brought home any strippers, but yeah, a girl has needs. And people have things. There have been nights that I haven't came home, and I had to explain that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who like,
but no,
down such an alpha chick like you? That's what we're trying to get to the heart of.
The great thing is like, I'm not one to date in my gym area. I didn't do that when I was in Cleveland. Like, I feel that's the one place, like, I go. So like being at Extreme, you know what I mean, and being at the PI and being around other fighters and stuff like that, like obviously my sense of like intermingling with people I'm going to train with every day, I don't do that. It's just not something I want to do. So it's easier when you meet people like, oh, I'm, you know, they meet you and I'm Jessica I, and then they realize, you know, hey, maybe I'm the fighter. I don't have to be crazy alpha. I can be whatever I want because you don't know people. And then once they start to date, you know, like the last guy I was like talking to for like 2 weeks, like when he really figured out who I was before anything like actually happened. Like he found out I was Jessica I, and like I had to block him. Like I had to.
Fan?
What was he, like a mechanic or like a
No,
barista?
he was he worked up at the Red Rock and he was a bartender up there. And that's what I should have been like. Well, this guy, no.
Wait, why did you block him? I don't understand.
Because it was just too much, and like I don't want to entertain something like that. And he just kept messaging, and like then it was like, oh, you're Jessica I, and then when I didn't answer, it was like, oh, this person, and like he just kept going, and it was just like then I muted him, and then I was like, it's probably better that I just like.
Got it.
Just too thirsty for you. I get it.
It was just, but it would just suck, like, because it was like a really nice guy, and like, and then all of a sudden, when it was like the craziness of like me being Jessica I was crazy to him. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't like that. Like,
yes.
I don't like that. That's the hardest part about dating. I think when I downloaded, so you're right, I downloaded Bumble when I got here. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna try dating apps. I'm gonna see what is out here. I downloaded Bumble, and then there was like the 5 first guys like I seen. I'm like, I know you're married. Like all these people I started to know, and I was like, yep, I'm off. Deleted. Done.
Hey, Ween. Let's ask Ween what would it be his first message to her if he got on a dating app.
I would say you into anal blasting or anything like crazy, like do you have any like crazy kinks? Because when I used to go on Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff, I wanted the girls that had like the craziest kinks because, you know, I was very young. I was like 18. I was exploring my sexual side because I was like a virgin up until then. And believe it or not, a lot of girls on there are very willing. I feel like the younger the girl is, the more willing they are to do some crazy shit.
Well, the crazy thing is my friend told me it's a lot of gay chicks that are going in there to find dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Back up.
That's
Whoa.
what I was.
Gay chicks trying to find dicks. I mean, that sounds like something.
Attached to men, or like that's weird.
What do you mean by that?
That's I mean, I don't know. That's just what I'm told. I'm told by a reliable source.
Like gay couples want a guy to like.
No. Like girlfriends, like stepping away from their girlfriend.
Wow.
Huh. Man, it's 2020 for real.
I don't even know. Like I wouldn't even know what it looks like to get on the Tinder app, like outside of what someone might show me in the like swipe thing.
Now, how are you dealing with you staying home, and are you staying in shape? Or do you have a fight planned?
Well, you know, I just got off surgery with my elbow back in February 12th. I got it because my brother's fight was February 15th. So I had elbow surgery, and this last week would have been my first MMA week back. And like in that 5-week time, I had to take like 10 full days off. And then we went through some like rehab stuff, and we were really starting to like ramp up training. And then this happened. So, you know, it's so crazy because like, I'm not like a news guru, but like I follow up to date on things, you know what I mean? And watch stuff. And I've heard about Corona for a while. I've known about it for a couple months, and I kind of watched it progressively. I guess it just, didn't think that some of these things were going to affect us. And it's so crazy. We always have that kind of mindset as society, is that things will never get to us until it gets there. And I think that this might be a time for, maybe society to really slow down and pay attention to things going on around them. And, like, it's crazy. So that being said, like, no, I'm just kind of continuously going through this process. I have mats here at home. One of my other training partners is a 125er that moved out from Ohio. That's kind of like quarantined to his own little house down the street. So like I at least have him to train with. My jiu-jitsu coach and my brother are here. So I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. Ideally, Valentina and JoJo will fight in June, and then I don't mind taking more time off just to get better, especially through this time. Like me getting surgery, me rehabbing my back properly was, to put myself back in a position where I would be healthy for the title fight. And I think any fight outside the title fight, being next, or, I really don't feel I should have to. I've only lost to the champ. I went 1-1. I feel I should be given that chance to fight again for it right away, considering my performance in my last fight. So
what was it about Valentina that like surprised you?
Nothing about her surprised me. Everything about myself surprised myself. Like it's crazy because most people aren't going to believe it, in the masses. I just really don't want to argue with most people about it. But like, I strictly did that fight for the money. I was getting 6 figures. I needed the money. I just moved to Las Vegas. I just was praying my body would hold up for me when I was in the midst of moving. And it's no like shame in my career. Like I've been dealing with back issues since I was a kid. I broke my back in that car accident, and I've had back issues my whole life and done such a great job of managing it without, constantly outing myself on what someone might say is almost a weakness, so I kept it quiet for so many years. And in the midst of moving here, I tweaked my back. Literally, it was the craziest thing, like picking up a dresser, and it literally was like, oh my God, that like my back completely went out. That going up to the fight, everybody at the UFC, PI, Bo, Sandoval, Clint, Heather, they all just tried to make it manageable. We tried everything we could. And I just hoped and prayed on fight day that, it would go away. And it didn't. And it really just made me not fight like me. And that she was able to expose me because she knew me. I literally rewatched. And if you like rewatch, and if someone's going to rewatch to study me, she kept saying the entire time through that entire camp, I know my opponent, I know my opponent, I know my opponent. And that's really what she does. The same thing she knocked me out with was the same thing Kalindra Farah hit me with when I made my returning fight to 125. And it's me setting up my double leg when someone, I counter them with double leg off their strike. And she did that. So, and on top of like, her technique, she hit me 3 times in the body, got me to lower my hand just a little bit. So when I went to lower my level, she got me, you know what I mean? So I feel like she did know me. I think that I wasn't performing the best that I could, but in round 1, like she wasn't stronger than me. I lifted her up off of me in multiple positions. Like, I don't know, it just happened. You know what I mean? Like,
is your back?
Well, I think that you're like, it sounds like you're growing as a fighter from that. So, it really sounds like you got a good fight IQ and you realize your mistakes. And I'm interested to see, where it goes next. Like I want to see, have they talked opponents yet? Because, they could throw you right back in there. But
well, so here's my argument to that. So obviously the UFC PI, I feel like I'm trying to be the best company girl I can, because we need that in society. We need good company girls, and meaning we need good examples of what fighting is and what the UFC is, right? So I've really allowed them to collect data on me, to be able to have full access to my career, but I've also allowed them to help me with my rehab. So my back, for the first time, like I'm literally waking up without back pain, and we're really got a hold of things and that way. So that's been one of the biggest things. And then, so we came down to elbow surgery, and that's why we ended up having elbow surgery after this fight, post fight. The one we had in December, I was like, you guys, like, do you think we should just do the elbow surgery? And they've been helping me manage it since the PI's open. We've been managing the best that we could. And the 2 things that I deal with is my elbow and my back. So it's like, how do we tackle these things? So they offer me probably like 2 weeks after the fight, and we're more in that weird limbo stage of if I get the elbow surgery, do I try some other stuff? Like, and they go, Mick hits me up and he's like, hey, you want to fight in Columbus, March, the March card against JoJo? And I'm like, dude, yeah, well, hold on. Like, I need to go to the doctor, because like on fight week, I ended up having like a giant cyst develop on my wrist. So it was like swollen off. So I had to go to the doctor. I had to get some, things looked at on my body. I said, let me go to my doctor. They got me on a 30-day suspension pending what's on the knot on my wrist. And we'll go from there. Well, I go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, all right, we got the MRI on your elbow and your wrist. This is where we're going. You're out. Let's do surgery. And they end up giving JoJo the title shot against Valentina in June.
Wow.
So knowing kind of all that, into those long-winded, wouldn't you say that if I was offered JoJo in March, and now since I wasn't able because I was getting surgery, and I wouldn't won my fight after losing to the champ, which they would have given Viviane the title shot had she beat me that night, they would have gave Viviane the title shot or JoJo. So if I beat both of those girls, what's next? I've only lost to the champ. I'm 5-1 now with them. So it's like,
yeah, all valid points. And yeah, I want to see. I mean, look, I feel like you're at the top of the division, and you're walking around there with like, there's a small amount of people that are up there at this elite level you are. And as soon as this damn apocalypse blows over, I hope to see you in there. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, I heard that last time I was in Vegas, I rated my comedy show, right? And then you said you were to come to the show. And I said, Jessica, and someone said she said she got way too stoned and didn't come to the show.
This is probably true. But no, I was stuck at a meeting and I was up at the Red Rock, so I wasn't gonna get down there in time. That's why I texted
bartender
you.
That, like,
yeah, she's meeting a bartender for something or another.
Don't worry. I wanted to do shit any scumbag, so he wasn't allowed to come.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. One of my favorite times, I went on a boat with her around Ohio. Well,
yeah.
We went to Ohio. She came to my show. She invited me out on the boat. We played football. But she's like, got like.
Dude, remember that boat? How big that one boat was?
Yeah. She's got a 10-pack, right? I have my shirt on. I'm the fat kid in the water with my shirt on because it was like, I'm like, she's around like fucking muscle guys all day. I'm like, I'm not.
No, we weren't. We were around like RJ would have probably been the only other one. And that was my one training partner.
And she's throwing perfect spirals. I'm throwing like I wouldn't say throwing like a girl because the girl was throwing spirals. I was like, the ball was going this way. It was really embarrassing, Mayhem. It wasn't a good day for.
Yes, it was. You had a blast. It was really cool because he got to see the Blue Angels, right? And they only come every couple of years. It's like
it sounds like she took you on the most romantic date ever, and you just blew it, bro. Way to go! Way to go!
That's pretty much. Well, she's like, well, her best. She was also there with like her bodyguard / best friend. Who's a really cool girl.
Evie.
Yeah.
Evie. Oh my God. Yeah. People always, what do they call it? Someone called her Rosa Parks, or not Rosa Parks.
So I'm guessing she's an African American lady.
Rosie Perez. Oh,
Rosie
she looks
Perez.
like Rosie Perez.
But she was like her mouthpiece. Like she goes with her and gets in the fight with other fighters.
Evie will basically be like, she's not talking. You talk to me.
Yeah, it was exactly. So now another thing. So there's a picture of Joe Rogan. It looks like he's checking out her butt. Like, so she weighs in.
Dude, I'm done. I'm done ever saying anything again. Like, I'm done. I'm done trying to be a fan of his, like calling him out. Like, my friends have literally asked me to do everything. My last fight, calling him out. Like, I'm done.
Well, Mayhem was away for a while, Jessica. Mayhem had some issues. He didn't have access to internet or television or.
But I've seen this picture, I think, of Joe Rogan checking out her ass.
Yeah, but Joe did it to like everyone. He did it to like Rhonda and me. It was like, I'm pretty sure he did it to like every girl.
No, he didn't. So what happened was, Mayhem, every time we were in a fight, Joe Rogan would come up to her and be like, so, was your left hook the key to the win or something?
Are you ever going to have me on your podcast?
Finally, she's like, Joe Rogan, you keep looking at my ass. Put me on the fucking podcast, right? And it was like, dude, he looked like.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't even want. I'm done. I'm done. Next time he's gonna interview me, I think it'd be hilarious if like the next time he interviewed me, like when he went to like, I'd be like, can I see the mic and like get it and then just drop the mic and walk out.
Nah, just stare at his ass, objectify him, and ask to see his penis. That's what I would do.
Drop something and be like, can you pick that up for me?
Yeah, exactly.
Has he ever off the air? Because it seems like you only like talk was when he interviews you. Said to you like, "I'll have you on the show," or
Yeah, I mean, of course, but like, I'm just, like, I wish society got better bullshit than just bullshitting. She's like, oh, like, if you just like want to see, if we're just passing by and being cordial humans, like, oh, hey, hello, thanks, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be like, oh, hey, I'll have you on the podcast one day, and then never call. Like, who said to offer that? Like, just don't
Nah,
call. You know what I mean?
are
I
you
know
like
people do
new
that.
to Hollywood? That's exactly what we do out here. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like, I've been working with some more people in like Hollywood and New York between the two on like some book and movie stuff. And yeah, I'm like, why is everyone always trying to sell themselves?
Well, but
Yeah, no, we'll do lunch. We'll do lunch, baby.
We're gonna, I'm gonna call you tomorrow and we're gonna do lunch. And then like, I'm like, you don't have to do all that. I told you I had plans anyways.
Rogan's podcast is awesome and yada yada. People love it, but we love you here. Like, don't belittle us, okay?
Never. That's why you texted and I said yes. I made sure I cleared my busy schedule.
Okay. Yeah. During the quarantine, I can get her. Listen, we love you here. I mean, we don't get the millions of views, but like we get the hardcores. They love you on this show.
Oh yeah, they do, and it's because of you.
No, it's because of you. It's because
no, it's because of me. No, it's because of we.
Yeah,
so
dude.
You guys are now. This is a new thing, Mayhem. You are now co-hosting with him.
Yes.
I don't know. You know what?
This is fun.
I'm gonna do it until we blow up, and then I'm just gonna fucking leave Adam and his baby.
Is this
on
the
side of
Roasted Mayhem?
Crying. Yeah, this is Mayhem Roasted, and it's basically I took over the show. And now I'm gonna make it successful and give it back to Adam so that you can fucking.
I was actually we were watching on like MTV like throwback show. It's like on my Apple thing, and you were on there for the old school bully beatdowns.
No,
MMA.
It's on Apple TV. You hear that, Adam?
It's like the MMA. Baby. It's MTV throwbacks or MTV something.
MMA is for Mayhem Miller and Adam. Mayhem Miller and MMA Roasted.
No, it's Adam and the Mayhem MMA Roasted. And Ween is in the back jerking off.
So Mayhem hasn't dated a girl like you in a while, right? So let's say you take Jessica out on a date, right? What do you do with her, Mayhem?
First of all, a woman like this, she's gonna get angry. All right, you gotta feed her steak.
I have to eat.
Yeah, you gotta feed her correctly, right? Then you take her on a boat ride for sure, around the harbor, sometime, maybe see the Blue Angels. Wait a minute, this sounds familiar.
No way.
Jessica, what do you expect? So a guy like Mayhem says to you, "Hey, listen, Jessica, let's go out. It'll be fun. No expectations." And you're like, you know what? I got a new dress. I got my new. I look good. I've been doing squats all week. I want to show off. So where do you expect the guy to take you?
I guess there's no expectation, and that's probably because of me and like what I'm trying to do now in my dating world is like every man now I date like feels lower than me, so it's instantly like, whoa, I gotta make sure he feels like he's the man here, like he's the cool guy, you know what I mean? So I have to keep my expectations really low so that like if he takes me to like like I don't know, like Applebee's or something, I'm like, oh, okay.
Applebee's. I'll take you to Chili and get you some baby back ribs.
I would be like, oh, I appreciate this, but like instead of just be like, God, it's hard to date when you don't need somebody, you know what I mean, and you want them, and then it's so hard. So like, I try to keep my my expectations low.
I saw a picture of you shooting guns though. You had like a machine gun in your hand. So,
I did that a while ago. It's forever ago.
AR-14.
Is that what you're?
Yeah, it was that, and I did the fucking 50 cal.
Damn.
It was sweet. It was really cool. It was really cool.
Like a gun range be a fun day for you?
Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, anything is like I'm just an open chick. Like I guess gun range would be cool. Food, food's always good. Food's always good.
Are you
taking notes? Yeah, taking notes. I think maybe jet skiing, some bungee jumping. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere I get to look at the hiney. That's definitely
rock climbing.
Yeah, there you go. It's like outdoor activities.
So
all the shit that you
stepping to look at her ass. That's a long way to look at her ass.
Well, that's standard.
Well, they already know that I feel like at that point, like there's always like that weird part. You're like, all right, how do I get to see him? So I could be like that. Like I'm like, what am I working with? You know what I mean? Like, what do I got? Like, I'm not just showing the part from the outside. You need to open the doors and see if it's got leather or two-tone material.
Last time she said she's a size queen, by the way. So you. Yeah.
That's why I always wear skinny jeans.
Well, I'm out.
Yeah, spray painted on.
She didn't.
Let me tell you something. Every man in New York nowadays wears these skinniest jeans. I actually saw a really funny meme. It's like when you look over your boyfriend, like you're talking about now, like when you look over your boyfriend, them skinny jeans, can he hook or can he cook, hunt, or do anything? But those skinny jeans, these guys wear these things.
Well, you got to show off the kielbasa. You know what I mean? Like that's just the world we live in. It's a social media frenzy. If you're not taking Facebook photos showing some tubage, then you're doing something wrong.
Yep, this is true. I have never done TikTok.
Don't.
Oh, geez. Me neither. I heard it's like a Chinese spyware, and I'm like so paranoid.
Somebody else said the same thing. Somebody else said the same thing. And I think they even came out that like China said that at one point.
Yeah.
Didn't they say that? Like that's how they like.
I downloaded it, and now it's like weird. I keep getting ads for Chinese boner pills. I don't get it.
Now, by the way, so just to clarify, the last time your fight, you missed weight by 6 pounds. It was your period.
Dude, it was terrible.
It was your period, right?
It was that, and it was a mixture of things. I didn't want to. I really didn't want to. I just fucked up. I hate to even say it. Like I didn't feel good, and my period had started, and I literally we had went through the PI. Like they monitor everything for us and they help us, right? Like it's not some bullshit. Like it's not what people think. It's not a joking matter in that way. Like there's certain things you can't do when your body's going through that. And I wasn't even going to try. It cost me $14,000 to have that happen. It was a $14,000 period. You know what I mean? And I wasn't going to do it. What point do I go through and I say, hey, look, it affects my pocketbook. Everyone still gets the fight. She gets money, which I guarantee you for Brazil, she's damn near getting her show money on top of it. So she might as well won the damn fight. You know what I mean? Like, and it still helps her and her family out. So like when people sit there and like have all these things to say about me, I've never missed weight in over 30 plus amateur professional fights. Like I'll do better next time. I'm 33. My body's changing. I'm learning things. Like, if anything, I'd love to be an example. And to be honest, like, I don't really care what other people think about it. Cause I want to be like, did it affect you? Did you pay $14,000 to fight? Cause that's what I paid to fight on top of the money that I paid to fight.
He has you beat he missed weight by 26 pounds his last fight.
I think it was like 29 pounds because I was also having my period. And I just decided I'm not fucking doing this. Fuck you guys. I'll pay the fine. And I paid the fine. I know. It was the most expensive boner I ever had.
Yeah. I didn't even care, to be honest. Like, I didn't really care what other people thought. And I think it showed in my fight. I think that people really got to see, like, 39 for 46 leg kicks. You know what I mean? Like, I destroyed her legs. And it showed in me. And it showed me that next time, like, I won't let this ever happen again. And to be honest, now people are just going to keep counting me out. Like,
you miss weight.
Someone will like me when it comes to the bookies.
You miss weight one time out of 30-something fights. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's whatever.
How about that I posted pink box donuts?
Wow. You know what?
Eric Nixick was like, dude, next time can you please try not to post fucking donuts right after you miss weight? Like, it doesn't make me look good. And I was like, my bad, dude. Like, it won't affect your pay. Don't worry.
That's like the new Dolce diet, isn't it? Donuts?
It could be.
Hot.
Who knows? So everything's good. Now, so you're doing great. Are you getting any exercise during this quarantine?
Yeah, like I was saying, like I have some stuff that I'm able to do, but more or less, like, I guess I'll just wait a couple more weeks for my elbow to be better. I could show you guys.
All right.
Nice.
Take it off.
Take that robe off and do an eggplant emoji. Holy shit. That's
wow.
pretty weird.
Wow.
Wait, you got to talk so we can see.
Yeah. So well,
What
that's
did they
my
do?
elbow, right? So, you ever heard of Tommy? It's a small version of Tommy John syndrome. So basically, they went in there to see if they were gonna have to move my nerve from my ulnar nerve from down here to like up on top of my arm, but they ended up not having to do it. So basically, they go in there, they remove all the scar tissue. They clean up like any bone fragments and everything that keeps like causing my arm to go out. Like halfway through my last fight, like it's so funny because I was showing Eric the pictures. Like I was looking and like in between the rounds, and I'm like, something is wrong with my arm. It was completely numb, but I knew I knew what it was. Like I knew that it was something going on with my arm. It wasn't broken. It was just really tingly. You know what I mean? And that was a part of it. So my ulnar nerve had built up scar tissue around it that they had to scrape.
Wow. All right. A completely different note. What's Machine Gun Kelly like?
You know, he's a character. You know, he loves Stipe and he loves the fighting, but it's always different when you're a hot chick on the other side. So he's a great guy, and
this has become. Did you guys go out?
No, not by any means, But like, I'm not, you know, I'm not the star fucker, the groupie type. So I'm not gonna just like hang out, just like I'm hanging out with you. Like, no, you're hanging out with me.
Damn, man, you're in a weird spot, lady, because like you have this thing where you know you don't want to, you're not no star fucker, but at the same time you're like this big deal. You're Jessica I. We get it, all right. So where the hell are you gonna find love like that? It's a weird question right now because you can't.
I guess you know, it's when I don't know that I really want someone a part of the industry because I know what this industry, like, especially the guys in the industry. Like, so
What?
For me, like, I'm not
Wait,
trying
you're
to,
not saying something. What do you mean?
no.
What
So
about it?
I would love, maybe I'll meet somebody that is completely separate and completely opposite of me in that way. And that, you know, I put myself out there, you know, I'm not hurting for anything, you know, by any means. So like,
a couple booty calls. Guys come over, take care of business.
yeah, you guys are just heartbreakers. Like I love men. Men are great, but like I just don't have time for your games either. So if it's gonna be a matter of like quid pro quo, you know what I mean? What for what, then like, you know, like I'm not investing myself in anything outside of my career right now.
I like it.
But we can have fun. I'm a really nice person. I'm a really kind and giving person. So it's like,
what you been watching on TV during the quarantine?
yeah. My friends have been downloading like house parties. Have you seen these apps where you can like talk to multiple people and like hang out at one time?
Yeah, it's called Zoom. We're on it right now.
No, Zoom is different. I thought it's for meetings. Is that different?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I consider this a house party.
Have you watched Tiger King on Netflix?
Hell yeah.
No, I actually was going to, but then someone said, don't watch it. It's just about meth and gay guys turning turning straight guys gay.
Why would you not want to watch that? It's like the best show.
It was the best show, girl. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Show. Jessica, you're going to thank us.
Yeah.
No, that would be my next. That'll be my next. I'm really caught up on good ones.
No, tonight. Watch it tonight. You're going to be like blown away. Especially
your homophobic friend does not know what he's talking about because that show is just crazy. Like, if you think MMA is crazy, the tiger big cat community is like the next level of insanity.
Well, have you seen that documentary, Don't Fuck with Cats?
Hell yeah.
Yes. And that's about internet nerds. That's a great one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Netflix is really
cat, no big cat, little cat, any cat.
Cat people are a weird. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I have two Shih Tzu. I have two Shih Tzus.
I give two Shih Tzus too, but that's awesome. Yeah, all right. So you're a dog person. Cat people are a different breed. I feel like they, you know, like sociopath. I don't throw that out there a lot. Sociopath. Ween is a cat person, I think.
I got a cat right there sleeping.
Yeah,
and I am a sociopath.
Yeah, and all you're into is anal blasting and, you know,
and killing people. Yeah.
Well, we got Rashad Evans coming on in a minute. Jessica,
God bless her.
Your poor daughter, like, go let her nap. Like, she's barely alive right there.
Nah, that's all right. She's on Xanax. It's all good. She got a drug problem.
Look at her little
He
red
lives in
cheek.
Hollywood.
She was watching your last fight. And
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
Got me.
I'm in Las Vegas, so you guys are in where is everybody?
I'm in LA.
North Hollywood.
SoCal, baby.
Okay. All right, guys. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Hold
Follow
on.
you on Twitter.
Sorry. No, yeah, follow me on Twitter, but
Are you gonna show your tits right now? Please don't.
no, hang this up for me, okay?
All right.
What?
Hang this up for her.
She hung up on us. That was great.
That was
I
like
appreciate that.
Is she a superhero?
Yeah, for sure. She had to like take off. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you were kind of digging her.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's a very charismatic, superstar. I appreciate her fighting skills.
But
I
do you
want to
like
see
her
her
also-
against Shevchenko again.
But
Huh?
you also like her the fact that she'll just kick you out after booty calls and tell you to go home. I feel like
Yeah.
that's something that you're.
What do you mean? That's standard. What are you gonna do? Hang out? Cuddle? Get the fuck out of here, Adam. You've been married too long.
Yeah, pretty much. No, no, not at all. My wife's staring at me right now.
I know. I like your
Cheers,
wife way
boys.
more than you, bro. Like your wife is like way more awesome than you are. Oh, the baby's awake. Oh, yay. So what? We're getting Rashad on this. Are we getting Rashad on this damn show for a little bit?
Yeah, we're getting Rashad on the podcast.
Oh my God! I thought that was that wasn't happening. But all right.
Nah, man, bro, we're going hard,
bro. This is
how much fun is this podcast, by the way?
I mean, I'll give it like 3 out of 10.
Why is this a thing?
Bro, my expectations are real low. When you've done as much awesome stuff as I have, like everything, the volume is turned down on everything. You know?
Oh, come on, man. Give me a break.
Dude, guys, the last episode it's like almost at 3,000 views right now.
Oh my God. It's
freaking blowing up, dude. This is crazy. It's funny scrolling down the comments. I'm scrolling for like 45 minutes and I still see Adam replying to every single comment.
I replied
to going to continue to do that. Keep doing it, Adam.
I'm not.
No. That boosts our engagement, bro. You don't understand. It pushes us up on the search results if there's more people talking back and forth, positive or negative.
Yeah, but I don't think it's healthy, though, for me.
I mean, you're going to do it anyway. Who are you trying to pretend? You're trying to lie to me, bro? I know you forever. So trying to lie to me, I know what you're going to do. You're going to try to not talk. You try not to respond. You try not to look. But, man, it's just a couple of scrolls right down and kablamo. There they are right there telling them, telling you, giving you feedback. And you love feedback.
I know. That's also the hard – that's the thing about comedy, man, is that you get that instant feedback. It's not the same with anything else. And like, that's, you like write a movie or you write a this or you write a that. But if you actually just like comedy is different, it's so right away. So,
and YouTube is way different, bro. YouTube is everybody getting to like watch what you do. And then they sit behind their screens and anonymity, basically, it breeds this other type of thing because think about how much stuff that I think about how much stuff I like on the internet and just scroll by and I think, oh, that's cool. And then if something I don't like comes on, I might take an extra second to go, hey, go fuck yourself. And if you're one of those type of people, that's all you do all day. So don't take it to heart, pal.
I know you're right. I'm over it, bro. Like but I needed to verbalize it because I'm not in therapy right now. And I don't want to just like call you and just talk to you about this because that's fucking lame.
I mean, look, man, this is a nice group therapy session that we're having here.
In some ways.
I feel like we're really making a breakthrough today.
Maybe it's not as funny as it should be, but by the way, so speaking of group therapy, American Top Team, by the way, Dean Thomas left. He's opening up his own gym.
Really?
Yeah. Which good for him. We actually have him on the show tomorrow.
Awesome.
Really?
Hell yeah. Good to have
we have Ashley Evans, and then we have two girls that hate each other that want to do bare knuckle boxing.
At the same time?
Yeah.
This is going to be hot.
One of them fights on the streets of on Fremont Street where you could just pay money to try to hit her. And she's married to a guy named Trap Gambino, who's like, the whole thing is just, anyway, so we can have them on at the same time. I'm working on that as we speak. But
way to go, bro. Way to go.
So
Exciting.
Well, what was I saying about before that? I was bringing up something
About therapy. Show's not funny anymore.
No. American Top Team. So they made it a rule that you can't talk shit about anyone at American Top Team unless you're fighting them. Like if you're teammates. Because I guess what happened was Joanna and Colby Covington were going at it. Colby said she's a shot fighter, that she asked him out on a date. He said no. And that's why she doesn't like him, and that she banged Masvidal, right? And then
wait, so Colby is saying that? He's saying that he turned her down?
Yeah. And now, and then Joanna is going off on like Colby, like they don't like that he's bad for the team, blah blah blah. So there's a new rule, the Colby Covington rule. American Top Team implements. It's a question mark. 0 tolerance trash talking. So then Masvidal, who was his former best friend and former training partner, says, fuck Colby. He put Colby, C-O-B-Y. The most fragile, most sensitive guy in UFC history. Can't kick me out because this rule was for fighters only, not crotch sniffers that get their jaws broken by other crotch sniffers. We all know that.
Wow.
We all know that dude's no fighter.
So I guess he's like breaking the rule already, huh? Like on day one. Or was that what inspired the rule? I don't get it.
No. That's day one, breaking the rule. Yeah. So
what a dumbass rule. Wait, and like, how are they going to enforce this? Is ATT going to give you demerits, and then like you're not allowed to kick the heavy bag for a week? I don't know. That's ridiculous.
But you don't think that's a good? I mean, but should you have teammates talking shit on each other? It's in the media.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Like, it's just a weird look. I don't know. It seems like American Top Team doesn't have any problem making like elite fighters and top level fighters. And I guess that is the most important thing, isn't it? For them to keep winning fights and keep it all, there's like what? There's at least like what? 5 top 10 guys that are out of there. So, they're doing something right. And for them to like enforce a rule on the white man that they're not going to enforce on the minorities, I feel like is un-American.
No, they didn't say that the white man. They said it's a rule across the board.
Okay. Well, so is Masvidal off the team?
I don't know. Probably
exactly.
not. Yeah, but
is the rule called the George Masvidal rule?
No.
It's the Colby Covington rule.
No, it was Colby Covington rule.
Being racist once again.
It was a question mark. Like, is this the Colby Covington rule? It wasn't that rule. Now, but you your fighting have never badmouthed your teammates to the public, did you?
Nah, but I was in a very different environment, and like I didn't have this like new age of everybody shit talking, and I didn't have like another dickhead at the same weight as me in my gym. You know what I'm saying? I was the only dickhead in my gym. So Colby Covington, George Masvidal, they're both assholes, and they're both talking shit.
Ortiz in your gym, wasn't he? Tito Ortiz.
Oh no, yeah, but that was when I was younger.
I think he was a dickhead, but he was a personality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Ween Dog, how are you doing with the quarantine as far as your sex life, your girl? What's going on?
Oh, Jesus. It sucks, dude, because my girlfriend's parents have banned me from going over to their house during this quarantine because they're just very paranoid of like that I'm going to catch some virus or whatever and bring it over there. And so now I feel like I can't go see my family because every time I see my family, her parents are like, maybe we should keep him away longer. He might have been exposed to the virus. So I've basically just been locked inside my apartment playing League of Legends for like 30 hours a day, playing video games and not doing anything, just working on my marijuana plants that I've been growing and getting drunk as fuck every single day, getting stoned. And that's pretty much my entire life. Not much has changed since before the quarantine, but that's pretty much it, dude. It sucks, dude.
Well, you got plenty of pussy back there on the bed, so.
That's right, dude. I've got Riley back there. I've been doing a lot of Twitch streaming. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You got me.
Now, are you watching porn?
Yeah, you know what's good about this quarantine? Everybody is home, So Pornhub and a lot of these like other like porn companies like Mom POV, you know, Mofos, all these other porn companies, Bang Bros, they're releasing like full length videos on the Pornhub, like full HD videos. Like normally they release like very short snippet videos. And then now since this, there's like every new video on Pornhub is like a high quality hour-long video. You know what I'm saying? So that's like I've been having my hands full with that. You know what I'm saying?
Gripping. I mean, look, let's be honest. Your hands aren't full, you know. But hey, Rashad Evans just joined. I saw that right now.
We have the former UFC champion, Hall of Famer, the man, the myth, the legend. Now, how are you doing, Rashad Evans?
Well, first of all, how the hell are you going to give me that? Like, there's no warning that the instruction list. Man, good thing I can follow instructions, and I like puzzles. Because that was some hard work, man. I'm like, what is this? I got to download this app. Got to put all this in.
Look, man,
hey, flip it sideways. Flip it sideways for us so we can see it.
Phone sideways. Is it phone or a computer?
I know. It's totally
what
like
is it?
You just turn the phone. Never mind.
Turn the phone
now
sideways.
We're looking at Wayne.
How is it? This way?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
That beautiful face. Look at that. Look at him. Now,
hey, listen. No, listen. Nobody tells me nothing. This is my first time using the app. No one even told me we were gonna be using this app. Nothing. The guy who coordinated, Mr. Adam Hunter, just I don't know.
Yeah. You're
I know. No. Welcome to the Adam Hunter. Everything Adam Hunter does is like this, flying by the seat of her pants. I didn't even know I was going to do this either. So we're just, we're quarantining.
Oh, yeah. You've been the most organized person in your life.
I am. Yeah, that was my nickname before it was Mayhem. It was Organized.
What's up, Mayhem? It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man.
Yeah, I ain't seen you in so long.
Yeah, I know. It's great to see you, man. Well, what's going on? Where you living? What are you doing?
I live in South Florida.
Yeah.
Out in South Florida, yep. Not much, just recently retired, you probably know. Just enjoying life, just hitting that new phase, you know what I'm saying? That new gear, just trying to figure it all out after the whole, you know how it is.
Yeah,
you get
of course. Come on. I didn't figure it out. I just pretty much like fought the cops for about 5 years. So I was just, that was my like post-retirement. I hope you don't do that. I hope you don't go the same path I did. Right now, bro, I got to tell you, you got a real golf vibe about you right now. You look real relaxed. You're like
I'm very relaxed. Very relaxed. Yeah, I'm very relaxed.
Poolside, maybe?
I think, it might be the South Florida thing. It might be the fact that this quarantine thing kind of got me just chilled out, on a cool, even vibe.
It might be the mushrooms or the marijuana or.
Yeah. I forgot to even include those, but.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're going full hippie on us,
dude, it's next level, bro. You have no idea.
Oh my
his
gosh.
Instagram.
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
yesterday his Instagram. He's in full Jamaican garb, like he has a Jamaican hat on.
Man.
Dude, and he's.
It's not.
You weren't wearing Jamaican colors.
They're not Jamaican. I mean,
he's racist. You gotta understand.
I'm not racist. I'm not racist.
Black guys are dread.
And this is exactly why we need to work on your whole black experience. This is why I say this. This is why I say this. But go on. Make your.
So he's going there. He's like, yo, I got my vegan this. And my vegan lifestyle, I got mushrooms.
I don't think I said yo one time, but go on.
Right, he didn't say yo. Again,
racist. I got mushrooms.
Racist.
He's like, I got mushrooms here. You know what I'm talking about, right? That video you made.
I know what I said. I know.
Playing Bob Marley in the background. There's like. Dude, there's like
first of all, that was a very informative video, and that was just about what people can do before they get locked away in this quarantine for the health. So you should be saying, you know what, brother, you should try to promote that. Now you sitting up here trying to take a stab at it.
I'm not.
See how you are? Guys like you, Adam Hunter, is why the human race does not progress.
I want to hear about it, man. I was like about to get those mushrooms. Now were those food mushrooms or were those mushrooms like drug
Portobello?
like for real?
Nah, they were actually, like therapeutic mushrooms, shiitake, cordyceps, turkey tail. What do we have in there? Lion's mane. These are all mushrooms that you should be taking because they're you know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that. Hey,
yeah.
They're
regenerative.
Oh.
They
Last
make
time
your
I did
neurons grow
therapeutic
back.
mushrooms, I lost a girl in the woods. So I don't do those therapeutic
Well, listen. You need to stay away from mushrooms and things of that nature till you get your.
I mean, you know what, dude? Like, listen, man. Before I lost a girl in the woods, I had I was sitting with the Buddha, experiencing like 7 levels of enlightenment, but then, man, it went to nightmare zone real quick.
Hey,
so,
you know what though?
I
think though, honestly though, I think that if you did something like the toad, I think that's what you need to do, man.
The toad?
The toad. Oh, the toad.
Oh, lick the fucking toad?
No lick. Oh. It's 5-MeO DMT. That's what it is. And you smoke the toad, and the experience that you have from smoking the toad, it forever changes you.
Whoa. Rashad, slow down, man. I can my brain.
Okay, I'll go slow.
Time out. Smoking toad. So I shove is it small enough to fit in a bong?
So listen. It's not an actual toad. It's a secretion from the toad. It comes from the toad's back.
Toad shit?
And when you smoke it, it's 5-MeO DMT, and when you smoke it, you have an experience where it you see what this is all about. That's the best way to say it, because words really can't do it any justice.
So I gotta scrape.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You just go to a shaman or a practitioner or someone. They usually do them at like ceremonies, and then you do like a ceremony, and then you go and you have this experience, and it's a very cathartic thing. Like somebody like you, I think it'll help you. And I say that because you have so many layers, and you have so many just different areas where you probably haven't even expressed that emotion. And this is just kind of like, what's that?
I feel like you're becoming a shaman. Are you like in some kind of shaman?
I was the bad guy.
Right now?
I'm bringing this up, and I'm the bad guy. And
my bad. No,
I'm not. Am I a shaman? I mean,
what is getting there, bro. You're starting to talk in this hypnotic tone where I'm like, and eventually, like, I'll be fucking the ugly chicks that you bring into the club.
Part of your cult.
You know what? It'll liberate your mind from all of those things. It'll liberate your mind from all of those things.
Really?
All right. Well, bro, you just tell me where I go to smoke some toad, and I'll check with my probation officer.
Listen. Nah, you want to tell your probation?
Oh, my bad. All right, I won't. Never mind.
Meanwhile, so me and Rashad, we go way back. I love Rashad. He says I need more black experience, right? So I'm in Miami, and Dean Thomas takes you to a soul food restaurant, right? And it's black. I mean, it's black. Like it was people playing dominoes. Okay, it was the whole thing. And guess who didn't show up? Rashad goes, I can't come because I'm kind of scared to go to that neighborhood. And I was
yeah,
like,
but Rashad probably had beef with probably banged somebody's chick over there. You know what I mean? And they got pissed off.
He just sent some toads. He sent 3 toads in his place. So,
no, I said, what did I say, Adam? What did I say? I said that. What did I say? I think I had something going on at the time.
You did have something. Sure. By the way, a different topic. How's your kid doing in comedy?
He's doing good, man. He's doing good. He's still sticking with it, man. He loves it. He's a wrestler now too.
That's awesome. Look at me.
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Man after my heart. A wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it. That's why I said it. You must have influenced him.
Hell yeah, man.
That's great, man.
The first time I learned that Adam was a wrestler, it kind of bugged me out for a while, because you look at Adam and he don't look like he'll be that wrestling kind of guy. He don't look like he can wrestle, but he actually can wrestle.
Thanks, man. Speaking of wrestling, I was looking at your high school, right? I was going through your high school stats, right? In 1997, you took 4th in the state at 140. Yeah. 1998, you went up to 171. So you gained, 25, 26 pounds? Took 4th in the state. Then you go to JUCO, and you took 4th. Then you go to the Michigan State, and you took 4th in the Big Ten. Was this your goal? Was to take 4th? Like, why are you always
No, bro.
Like, why are
listen,
you
if you
always
go
doing-
through the universe, you see like if you go through the mystical, magical gates,
How
you
many-
deal with shaman. 4 is the number.
4 is the number. 4 is the number. How many 4s did I have? Was it 4 4s?
Yeah, 4 4s.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like-
444.
You're always taking 4th place. But then,
I know.
I mean, then you actually won it the next year. So
But-
yeah.
But thank you for bringing up my shortcomings. That's, you know what?
that's all he does.
Yo,
that's all he
yes,
does.
yo,
Rashad.
I'm saying, like, come on, like, who does that? Who goes back?
Him.
Who goes back and say, you know what? I'm gonna look at when you didn't win, and I'm gonna bring up
Yeah.
the place marker and talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, let's
Listen,
talk about when
imagine being the
Wow.
co-host on the show, Rashad.
Wow.
Every day I gotta hear about that I lost to Bisbee and I fucking got arrested this time, and I got last time I had to tell a story about the time I got stabbed.
You know who didn't lose to Bisbing? Rashad.
That's true. See, he does it again. Oh my
He's
By
goodness.
the
the
way-
worst, man. He's the worst.
know.
And he's the worst because when you go to his comedy show,
Yeah.
every single time I go there, he always will say something, and then he'll say something. And he's like, always be like, "Oh, Rashad, he's got a new chick this time." Even if I don't, like, he always say something, no matter what. I'm just like, dude.
Dude, Rashad Evans is the man. The first time I met him, he came to the haha, and there was like 6 people in the crowd, and he sat and watched the entire show by himself, and that's when I knew this dude is the man. He doesn't need anybody. Rashad's a real guy. He's one of
Solo.
those dudes. Like, it doesn't matter if I was in last place or if I'm in first place. Rashad will be
Or in
there.
fourth place.
Fourth place.
Yeah, fourth.
Like to bring
That
up.
guy.
Yeah.
Rashad will be there for you, which is by the way, but I do gotta say, Chris Pendleton, 2-time national champion.
Yeah.
Said he wrestled.
I beat Chris Pendleton, but he's gonna say, go on.
He says that you were wrestling, and he was number 1 in the country, and you were like number 18. And he was like, damn, fucking, this guy's really good. Then he realized you were terrible on bottom. He said once what happened? Like, you couldn't get.
First of all, no. Well, I came out there styling on him, something he ain't never seen before, right? And it kind of took him off guard. Now, this is the number 1 kid in the country, and I was like 18. I shouldn't even been ranked. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get smashed up. Let me just go and style on this kid real quick. And I was out there just doing good, and it got to the point where we went to overtime, and then after overtime, we went to double overtime. And then here's the thing about it. So in overtime, the first overtime, I took him down, and then he started to cry like, ah. The referee called the point off and said it was potentially dangerous and started us on the feet again and gave up, and took off the point. He don't want to bring up that part.
I always say it on the show, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey,
you got to do it.
No,
Yeah, Chris did get me though. He did get me.
No, he said you were awesome. He said you were awesome. He said great things about you. So
What about your son? Are you involved in coaching him in wrestling? Because I mean, you're one of the best wrestlers to ever do MMA. So
Yeah.
I gotta imagine it helps.
He's growing. He's doing his thing, man. Like he's
Wait, how old is he?
He's 13. He's 13. He's got the passion and love for it. You know what I'm saying? And he got it organically. It wasn't like I was pushing him to do it. And that to me, it meant more to me than anything for him to do it off after what he wanted to do, his own heart and stuff like that. Because as a father and somebody, we share the same name and everything too. So I definitely didn't want to like push him in a mold to have to be, pegged as another fighter and everything that I did. I wanted to have his own expression, but he chose to do wrestling for himself, and he started to enjoy it. He took his lumps, and but he's getting better, and he loves it.
Well, if you ever want the top middle school wrestling coach in Southern California, I know him. I know him personally. Yeah, his name is Adam Greenberg.
that's me.
Adam Greenberg.
That's my real name, by the way.
Oh my goodness! I was like, "Who's Adam Greenberg?" I was like, "Is that?" I know Adam Hunter, but
That's my real.
Yeah.
I
think he should change his
Hey,
name
he
back
exposed
to
your government,
Greenberg.
You just exposed his government just like that on everybody. Like we didn't even know. Like, hey, like he wanted everybody to know his last name is Greenberg. Like he wanted everybody to know that, man. He called himself Hunter for a reason.
I'm trying to convince him to go back Greenberg. Wouldn't it make a lot more sense? Wouldn't you know what you're getting into when you meet Adam Greenberg? I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam.
You're a toad smoker.
I am totally a toad smoker. Oh my God.
Man.
Now, Rashad, there are two. You obviously had so many great fights. Two of your fights, though, stand out. When you beat Phil Davis, I mean, because you were the first guy to beat Phil Davis, who looked like they were trying to prep Phil Davis to beat John Jones. And when you knocked out Chuck Liddell. Now,
I was there, by the way. I was like right there. And my mind got, the quietness in that Atlanta arena was hilarious. Like, it was quiet. Like, ha ha. I was just, because, you know what I mean? It was this weird, good old boy type vibe going. And when you fucking knock them out, I was laughing. I did the classic Mayhem laugh of,
yeah, it was like walking through the crowd. It's like, boys, we about to have a hanging tonight. They was like, they were not happy at all about that, man. That's the wrong place to knock out Chuck Liddell, I'll tell you that.
Now, those two guys fight each other, though, right? The guy that knocked out Chuck and the guy who knocked out, who beat Phil Davis. Who wins that fight? Were you a better fighter that night or against Phil Davis?
I don't know. I think the night with Chuck, I was just on like a different level as far as like my energy level. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I went out there winning another man's cup. Like I left my cup in the hotel room because I was so nervous and everything. And Nate Marquardt just got done from fighting. And I was like, dude, I left my cup. And then they were like, yo, we're gonna have time to go back and get it. And then Bert was like, no, we ain't got the time. We got to go. And I'm like, oh, man. They just gave me Nate's cup.
You're
Oh, geez.
I mean, we carved out some extra room in it. But, I mean, it was, the gross part about it was like, it was, because he just fought. It was a fight.
A post-fight cup is not a cup.
Yeah, that's what it was, a post-fight cup.
Oh,
but that's how bad, that's the zone I was in that night. So that Rashad Evans was hard to beat. If you want to wear another man's cup and you go out there and make that sweat your own, you want to win,
Did you ask your shaman, like, you think that, like, the double testosterone might have, like, helped you that night,
It might have. It might have, man. You know what?
Dick cheese.
Yeah. Hey, but the Phil Davis fight, though, I feel like you had to do, like, a wider variety of skills. You know what I mean? Like, and like that was like a different type of fight,
No, it was because Phil, he was, he brought a different kind of style. He could do it all. Yeah, he can do it all pretty well. And Phil was very tricky because of his explosiveness and his athleticism was like a weird combination of just like great skills. Like one time I went in on his legs and he had this like that some flexibility, and then you realize why you can never score on him and wrestle. I had to figure out something like that. And then even with the striking, he threw one kick that just barely grazed me, and I didn't even see it. And I'm just like, wow, good thing that didn't hit me because I barely even seen it, But he had that ability to throw stuff out of nowhere. So that fight was tough for many reasons, but I was happy because I felt like in that fight, I took the fight out of him. I can just see the fight just kind of seep out of it. And to have that feeling as a fighter, when you just feel the fight bleed out of a fighter, metaphorically speaking, that right there is the biggest part of a victory. Like that's the victory right there,
That's awesome. Now you train a lot of great guys. The Usman versus Colby fight, was that closer than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. Well, I did think it was closer. It was closer than I thought it was going to be, just because I didn't expect Colby to have that much dog in him. Honestly speaking, I know that Colby, he brought great pressure. consistent stand up, consistent ground game, but he wasn't, doing anything too well. Like he wasn't like with massive power or nothing like that, and I didn't really think that he had a dog in him. I thought he was more like a front runner type of fighter. As long as he was beating you, then he'll do work on you. So when I seen him fight Kamaru, and I seen him, Kamaru started going off, starting to get ahead, and then he came back and he responded. I was surprised at how he responded. I was surprised at his combinations and the variety and just his fight IQ. He really impressed me that night, to be honest, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of had to expect him to like put up a bunch of numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Usman being stronger, would have been. Did you guys like even work wrestling for that fight? Because it didn't seem like it.
Well, see, I mean that's the thing, and that was a testament to just how on the level Kobe was at night, because Kamaru is like, he's exceptional. Like when he decides to take somebody down, he can take them down. And when in that game that he plays where he keeps people in that gray zone where they don't know if he's going to shoot or he's going to strike, that yo-yo that he keeps people on, he can usually get people on the hook there and just kind of make them just feel like vulnerable to even be out there with him, So he has that ability, but it was we knew that there would be points where he could wrestle, but we didn't want him to just go out there and just gas himself out trying to force that grinding wrestling game out, because the difference that we felt with the fighting, the striking power, the striking between the two of them was the power.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the fight, that's exactly what it showed.
That's exactly what happened. Oh, so I get it. Because you didn't want Usman to scramble so much, because I felt like that was the way for Kobe to win. In my mind, before the fight, I was breaking it down with some analysis where I was saying that if Kobe can force a bunch of scrambles, so that's why Usman didn't want to wrestle, huh?
Yeah.
He didn't want to make it into a scramble game.
Yeah, and neither one of them did. There's a reason why a wrestling match is 6 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
minutes. It's 6 minutes for a reason. And you're the best wrestler in the world. You can't wrestle for that long. So at that point, you're trying to think, okay, so where am I going to hedge my bet? And I think that with the reach advantage that he had and just the overall physical, just how much bigger he was than Kobe, I thought that was something that made the bigger difference when it came to just the damage that Kamaru was able to land and put on Kobe.
Did you hear that Dean Thomas left ATT?
I did hear that, man. But Dean's been on a roll lately. I've been following him on IG, man. Dean is getting pretty hot. I wonder where he goes.
Well, he's opening up his own gym.
Ah, okay, okay.
Why don't you leave your gym and you guys can combine superpowers?
Yeah, listen. I would definitely work with Dean. I would. I'm definitely gonna check in to see what he's doing. Because I got nothing but love for Dean. Dean's always been one of my favorite guys, and I never got a chance to work with him. So if he got his own gym, I'm gonna be up in those doors like, yo, Dean, let me learn something.
Dude,
Dean's old school. Dean knows so much, man. Huh?
Dude, that one kick you landed on Sean Salmon, I was watching that last night. He was like 9-1 when you fought him.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to fight Sean Salmon, and then and then Rashad puts him in the cemetery, and then I never got to fight him. Yeah.
He lost his first 8 fights. He was 9-1. He kicked him so hard, he lost 8 fights after that. Like,
oh my God.
Because it's, man, that fight right there, man. That fight, I remember that fight like it was yesterday, man. I remember the first round of that fight, I was trying so hard to work different techniques because this guy came in as a late replacement and we didn't really have much video on him, but he knew he was a wrestler. So we were kind of like looking at him like, all right, we're just going to try out different things. And the first round, I was trying out all different kind of like movements and different kind of kicks, and I couldn't hit anything. And the harder I tried, the more he was, the better he was doing. He was taking me down and, holding me down, making it hard for me to get back up. And it was just a terrible round for me. And then to make matters worse, he was even talking shit he was even talking shit while he was on top of me. So I'm just
Wait, what was he saying?
He was like saying like, I forget, like something like, yeah, that's you, like you can't get up, like I'm gonna make you my bitch or something. Like I forget what he was saying, but it was like it was getting me mad. And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's, because before the fight even happened, he was kind of talking the same way. And then when he was in the fight, he was winning the fight, and then he was talking shit. And then I go to the second round, and I look at Dana White before I go to my corner, and Dana White is looking at me like, bro, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, that's what he has to be saying, right? Because he has that look on his eyes, and I'm like, all right, I know Dana, I know that's what he's probably thinking. So the next round, I go out to the next round, and I'm kind of mad, and it's like really the first time in a fight that I actually felt mad, because normally in a fight I feel like it's like not really a fight to me. It's more like, I don't know, like playing,
Sure.
That was the first time I actually felt mad. And everything I threw, I was like, I'm gonna put a hole through him when I hit him. I'm gonna put a hole. I can't wait. And then when I caught him with that kick, oh my gosh, it was just like, yeah.
You guys ever train together?
Yeah. Who was that?
You and Mayhem?
Nah, huh?
We did.
Yeah, we
yes,
did.
We
Where?
did. Yes, we did.
Where? I remember.
With King Mo back in Southern California, San Diego.
That was awesome. Now I remember.
Who was the coach? Who was it? Ryan.
Ryan was over there.
Ryan.
Who else were we with though?
You guys
there was
spar?
like a whole room.
Who won the sparring?
No, I think we had a pretty good sparring. I think Mayhem caught me with a couple good shots. Mayhem, listen, Mayhem was good. You know why he was catching me? I think because he was awkward as hell. I remember being frustrated because like he was catching me with a few more shots, and I was getting frustrated because he was awkward. And I'm like, what the hell?
I remember that. Yeah, I always step strange and like do weird stuff and jerk and jiggle. Yeah, I remember that. Those were great days. I was like fighting in Japan back then. Those were awesome.
Was that after Bully Beatdown or before?
After?
It was before Bully Beatdown.
Before.
Yeah, it was before. It was like right before you got back on the scene and everything. Like before you started to get back in the UFC.
Yeah. And Japan was like paying the bills. Like I loved it over there. It was crazy.
Have we talked to Rumble? Is Rumble coming back? I heard he's coming back.
Yeah, Rumble's coming back. Rumble looks good too, man. You got to see Rumble. Rumble looks good. You got to wait. He's mad at you? Oh, because you made a bad joke?
It was a good joke.
Good joke for who, Adam? For who?
Good joke for the fans.
I don't even know what joke it was, but like, I'm like, what's up, Rumble? He's like, huh. I'm like, all right. Like, that's not the guy that I ever want. Like, I feel like he could
Wait. You don't even know what joke that you made that pissed him off?
I don't even think he knew what joke it was. I think he just knows that there was a joke made. He knows there's a joke made. He probably looked at it probably like, yo, this dude is on my X list. No, one time I called him up. I called him up after he got mad at a joke. What happened was, so I was like, yo, man, are we cool? And he's like, and we talked for 20 minutes, and he was awesome. And we joked and this and that, but I think maybe he forgot about the call. I just remembered. But tell him I
don't know. So what you saying? So now you're saying he's stupid. He can't remember a phone call. Huh? Oh my goodness, this is just getting worse. This is just getting worse, Adam. Just stop. Let's just.
He was one of my favorite fighters, Rumble. He was a good fighter.
I'm gonna tell him, man. I'm gonna tell him that you're good, and I'm gonna tell him that you make off remarks to me.
Yeah. Come on, Rashad. I'm gonna say, listen, it's just a part of being his friend. Like he can't help it. He can't help it.
By the way,
he needs a black diplomat.
Yeah, his wife. You ever see his wife?
Oh, great. That's gonna help.
No, not real Rumble. No,
justify his wife.
No, Rashad's wife. Rashad's wife.
Oh, okay.
She turned 21 last week, and
oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez. The stand-up comedy circuit is mean to him.
Hey, this is my friend Rashad. Look at Rashad.
See, this is the problem of the quarantine. So since he can't get out and do his material, now we become part of his act.
Exactly.
Now he gets it on us and say,
May. And look, there's Rashad.
Oh my goodness, look at this cutie.
There's Rashad. He's one of the best fighters in the world. He was the UFC champion, the champ of the whole UFC, and he was one of the best ever too. And he's guy's very strange.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. What's her name?
Her name is Violet. Violet.
Yeah,
it's Rashad. So Yeah.
Hi, Violet.
So listen. So are you retired again? Because you were unretired.
Oh my gosh. No, I've stayed retired. I thought about coming back, and I'm still thinking about it. You know, if something comes along, then I'll do it. You know, if the opportunity comes along, then I'll do it. But
Well, contract-wise, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Adam, right now, I'm just enjoying good health right now. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
And I feel great, and you know that's where I'm at right now. You know,
Nothing to prove.
why do we feel the need to put it in a box though? You know what I'm saying? We don't need to put it in a box.
Because I read an article saying you were not retired, and then you told Mayhem at the beginning of the podcast, I'm retired. So I was just asking you a question.
Well, I'm retired. I'm retired until I sign the contract. So yeah, I'm retired.
All right.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. All right. Now, any more movies? He was in like a Soderbergh movie, this dude.
Oh, what?
Soderbergh.
Wait, what movie were you in?
What? I'm not saying. I don't even know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. So I'm
You
not
were
going
with Rampage. You and Rampage were in a movie together. It was.
Boss level. Yeah. Boss level. It's still gonna come out. It still hasn't came out yet. But I don't know. It was actually supposed to come out this spring. But with everything that's happening right now, who knows?
But it's a big movie. There's like a lot of stars in that movie, right?
Yeah, it was pretty. It had a lot of people in it. A lot of good people in it.
And anybody that we would know, or
You really selling?
Yeah, it has a lot of people you would know.
Like
he was
who?
setting you up. Yeah, who? What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
God damn, get off the toad, bro. So who is the star of the movie?
Frank Grillo is the star of the movie.
He's the best.
And
you know Frank Grillo in The Punisher.
The Punisher.
Okay. This guy is
Frank.
just killing it. Yeah.
Yeah. You got Mel Gibson's in there. You have it's like you have there's the list of celebrities that's in this thing is probably I don't know a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really know like the celebrities like that. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know like if you I don't know them all like that. I don't know.
We get it, bud. You're not reading the tabloids like Adam Hunter is.
Yeah, but he's in a movie with Mel Gibson and Frank Grillo that's coming out.
Yeah, but I didn't go around like
taking
like having him sign my book and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't have him do that.
It was, I mean, you had a big part though, right? Decent part.
Yeah, I did. Me and Rampage, we play German twins.
What the fuck? It's a comedy then.
Yo, it's funny as hell. Yeah, it's funny as hell. It's funny.
Awesome,
We play
man.
German twins, man. And it was cool because I actually got a chance to really get to know Rampage just outside of the whole Ultimate Fighter show, and it was pretty refreshing though. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you see each other in pass, and even after you have the fight, you have that respect for each other, but you don't really know each other. You don't really have that chance to get to know them. But it was actually cool to actually work with him for a few weeks to get to know him a bit.
You get to learn a German accent.
Huh?
You get to learn a German accent.
Did I learn it? No, I didn't learn a German accent. Yeah. Actually, we did do a German accent. What am I talking about? Yeah,
Well, come on, give us some German accent.
It wasn't like a German accent. It was more like we were saying things in German, like we were talking in German.
Well, give us one of your lines there.
Yeah, we had German lines.
You don't remember any?
I don't remember. It was a while ago. It was a while ago, man. It was like I can't. And at the time, I had to like I would say it over and over again and still mess it up, but. I forget.
Rashad, a Nazi. I love it.
I got to see this movie, The Boss Man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sounds like an epic movie.
Boss level. It is, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a game changer for sure.
I love it. Well, listen, you do a great job on the UFC analysis, by the way. You're the best up there, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we're big fans of that. I'm big fan of your analysis.
He says it to probably everybody, but thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. I appreciate
no one else
the
comes
love.
on my show. So
Yeah, trust me, dude. Trust me. This quarantine is like making our show happen, bro. And now that the quarantine is on, everybody's coming on our show because nobody wants to be in the same room as Adam.
So
Yo, Adam, see.
dude,
You know what though? You do a hard job though. You know what it is? Because you say some things that people can get very upset about, and then you have to then turn around and then ask them to be on your podcast. It's a very complex thing there. I don't know how you pull it off sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Very delicate thing you have. Very delicate.
I have a little bit of a code. I don't make fun of people when they get knocked out, when they lose. Like I heard someone tell you when you got knocked out and wanted you to sign a picture of you getting knocked out, right?
Oh yeah. People have done that. Yeah.
And you say, "Get the fuck out of here," right?
Yeah. I did.
I mean, why would the fuck?
You know what? Here's what I should have done. I should have signed it and then kicked him in the face and then took a picture of him and woke him up and had him sign it. No, that's a lot. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
What kind of an asshole does that? Like goes up to a person and be like, "Hey, this is probably the lowest point of your life. Will you sign a picture?" It's like
Adam, come on, bro. We both know, okay, the average MMA fan, okay, half of them are dumber than that.
You know, they probably, you know, he probably like a joke with his friends. I bet you, you know, I bet I'll do it. That kind of thing. You know how people.
I don't even think so, Rashad. I think that people are just dumb. Like they don't even look at us. And I know that a lot of people, they don't even look at us like real people. We're just like this thing on TV.
Right. Yeah.
And so people, like some people are like, they get it. They're fans and they get the vibe. Other people are just like, wow, this guy's on TV, so he'll sign this paper. And you know, you can't really be that mad at them. They're just dumb.
No, there's a certain tact as a human being. You don't have someone sign a picture of that. Like, you never do that. Like that's an idiotic thing. Like that's like, I don't know. It's just, to me, that's like, come on, man. And I'm happy you signed it. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next?
Thank you.
Like, you don't go to like a funeral and take a picture and say, "Hey, your mom died." You signed a picture. Like it's like, who does that? That's
a sicko does that. Somebody who wants to get a reaction. And once I seen you want to get a reaction, I was like, all right, you know, just smile it off. Like, all right, cool, man. I mean, you're not gonna get it, buddy. You're not gonna get me twice.
Oh my God! Especially a guy that can murder them with one hand. You know?
Oh my gosh.
So Colby Covington said he wants to fight 50 Cent in a boxing match, and he wants to do it with one hand tied behind his back. Who do you think wins this fight?
Oh my God, Colby will murder him.
With one hand?
One hand, murder him.
All right.
See? Huh? Did I not say the exact same thing? Okay? Your fighter friends are saying it. Like 50 Cent don't know how to box.
All right.
Okay. So wait. So listen. So 50 has to fight him, right?
Yeah. No.
He can't. He can't evade him. He would have to fight him. He can't run. He can't pick up anything.
And boxing,
he would lose, dude. He only boxing.
Only boxing.
Oh.
What hand does Colby get? His right hand, right? His right hand?
No, you're going exactly. We did this on the podcast like a month ago, and you're asking all the same questions I did. Exactly.
He said he could pick the hand. According to Colby, pick the hand.
Oh, he could pick the hand?
Yeah.
If 50 could pick the hand, I don't think so, because I don't think that Colby can knock him out with his left hand.
Yeah. Yep. I'll agree with that statement.
There you go. Mayhem. So no, well, you didn't agree with that. You said he would kill him with one hand.
No, I think that it would be just a jab fest. How many rounds are we talking? That Colby's got to do this one-handed dance.
12 rounds.
But here's another thing though. 50 Cent is a lot bigger than people think. Like 50 is not like one of these other celebrities that you think and be like you see and they're really tiny. No, 50 will look at you and he'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You could have.
50 had no USADA testing either. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
This will be a whole different.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
I gotta watch the baby the rest of the day. say goodbye. Say bye.
Wait, so your baby just running around during the podcast?
Yes, totally.
Oh
my wife takes off work for an hour, and
Okay. Hey, baby.
say hi, Rashad. Say hi, Rashad.
Hey, baby.
Say hi, Rashad. Meanwhile, she has like 3 dolls, right? She has a white doll, a black doll, and an Asian doll. And she only plays with the black doll, right?
See?
And then she's on Instagram playing with the doll, and all my black friends are like, not all of them, but a couple. Were
All
like,
the black friends, all
Yeah.
of one. Jamoki, he
Yeah,
got one
he
black
has-
friend. He got one
You
black
are his
friend.
black friend.
So
Kevin's the only black friend.
Jamoki says to me, he says, tell her she's invited to the cookout. Like,
Oh my God. No, you know that didn't happen. No, you know that didn't happen. You know it was just, you know what? I'm done
I'll
with this shit,
screenshot it
man.
for you. I'll screenshot it for you.
Yeah, no, listen, Adam is a funny comedian, but he's not that funny. I
Hey.
can't think of something that clever.
Hey, did you know, Adam, Mayhem, did you know that why I said that he needs more black friends?
Why?
This dude tried telling me that he knew black people. I'm like, no, you didn't. I said, you never had a black guy sleep at your house for? Yeah, I did. And then he says, I said, okay, what was his name? He's like, Jamoki. And I'm like, come on. Out of all the out of all the names, now you gotta find not only a black person, you gotta find somebody with the blackest name. I'm like, you just made that up. You just made that up. I didn't even heard the name Jamoki before.
I swear. I had I had a bunch of friends in high school, but one of them came Kwaku and Jamoki. Jamoki, I swear, Jamoki Mendez, right? He was from Brooklyn. And the thing was, so the fans were like, "That's bullshit." So then they took pictures of like people in Africa, and then put my face next to it, like they did
Oh
it.
my God.
They put like Adam's black friends or something, and then sent it to Rashad. I was like,
Oh,
So funny.
man. Yeah, I feel like Rashad might be able to be like your black diplomat to kind of help you, you know what I mean? Help you reach out to the African-American community.
No, look, Rashad probably is one of my blackest friends because we booked him for the podcast and he's going to stay. So just like, you know, he is late. But listen, no, I'm kidding.
What?
Yeah, he does hacky black jokes, bro.
Oh,
it's just
on.
the way he does.
Listen, all day, all day.
Rashad has no stereotypes. Obviously, he's now a drug dealer. Okay.
No wonder Phil Davis wants to kill you on sight.
Yo, Phil, you got beef with Phil too?
Oh, it's Rumble. I like.
No, my bad.
Yeah, Phil's not black.
Oh my God! I'm about to say now I know why Rumble. Now I know why Rumble is feeling the way he feels about you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and instigate it.
Do not.
Nice. Yo, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram. I can't wait for this. The beef post.
Listen, Rashad, thank you so much, man. Taking time out of your quarantine.
Quarantine?
To come on the podcast. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Can we do it again like tomorrow? I'm bored. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I'm
Hell
bored.
yeah, but we're gonna have him all the time.
Yeah,
Every
God bless
day.
you, Rashad.
Every day, all day. I don't care. I'm bored.
We'll call you tomorrow. I'm not
All right,
kidding. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh my goodness, that was the best podcast I think we ever did.
Yeah,
Pretty
Rashad,
much.
dude.
I mean, it could be.
Well, listen, we will see you guys tomorrow, right? Tomorrow.
God bless America. We're doing it all the time. I love it.
All right. Ween Dog, you gonna post it? Everything good?
I'll do that. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at the Ween Dog, and on Twitch. I live streamed this episode on Twitch, twitch.tv/Weendog.
All right.
Wow.
Mayhem,
Way to go,
anything
bro.
you wanna promote?
Yeah, I guess I'll start promoting. I mean, I put the damn thing on Facebook. I hate Facebook, and so you're making me do it. So fine, I'll do it. Also, I'll put it on Twitter. You know, I'm gonna try to really grow this thing. We're gonna blow up, bro. We're gonna blow up just like the coronavirus. We're gonna go viral.
Thank you very much. Follow me at adamhunter.com. All my dates are postponed.
Yeah, all your dates are canceled. Stop trying to promote. We already did the promotion right here. This show is the promotion.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, bro.
See ya.
See you, Ween.